cut the budget. I'm not sure how many times I've said I hate when he does that, and he still does it.
Hilarious.
And
Steve,
then he's also
can hear you.
muted. There you go. So we can't even hear him. Yes,
We
yes,
can't hear
yes, ladies and gentlemen. Good Sunday morning to you. March 2nd, new month, new me. It's the Cast Worthy Podcast. Here with your host with the most, Steve, aka Last of a Dying Breed on the Twitter machine or what X, whatever that bullshit Nazi website is called now. Also here with my man EJ from Baltimore holding it down. We don't have to confirm if he's still in a relationship. We already know he's booed up. You know, the game's changed. And your boy VP doing the hosting duties today because Steve tried to troll and then fucked his own self up. You know, so how you gentlemen doing this weekend?
Hey man, I'm half a Modelo and some bourbon in. So
I
I
guess you're
feel
doing all right.
good. I feel great, you know. I have a little bit of time to myself today. You know, the house is empty for the first time in a long time. It's just me and the dog. So can you hear me?
No, I'm telling for Steve.
Oh yeah. So I'm in the house alone today. For the first time in a long time, it's just me and the dog. So I'm having
Oh,
fun, man. I was watching the Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach fight last night, and continuing the party, man.
that's what's up, man. You watch it at home, or you like went out to a bar or something?
So I watched it at home. I was gonna go to a spot locally, and I took Steve. When Steve was up here, I took Steve to like a million bars. But this one has it was a $15 charge or whatever. And I wanted to go there, but my old lady was like, "Nah, I have to stay and watch it." And then one of my frat brothers came for the main event, so we went through like a whole bottle and
Damn.
just picking up where we left off. Yeah, I know it's crazy.
And
Yeah.
yet here
Hey,
you are,
Yeah, yeah.
right
he,
back
he,
to it, huh?
Yep.
he's high functioning. He's high functioning.
No, you look.
Actually,
Don't be telling them you drink Modelo. They might deport you.
well, my name's Emilio, so they're likely gonna try.
I should probably get rid of you anyway. You're savage.
You know what I learned last night, or Friday night rather.
Math.
Wow, tequila is smooth for me, and I could
I-
drink it.
I've been telling you that.
No, but it's not good for me
Oh,
because I can drink way too much of it. So when I woke up Saturday,
uh,
I was done. I was like, yo, Shorty was like, yo, you said we was gonna go do this and do that. I was like, all right. And I get up and she's like, wow, who's gonna drive? You always drive. I was like, you sure? It's like, she's like, nah, I got it. But I can't do tequila. I gotta stick to bourbon, man. I can't mess with tequila.
I told
Yeah,
you
I
when I
never
was
used
there.
to.
That's why all I drank was tequila.
Yeah, I never was a big tequila fan. I didn't like. I think it's just because I mean, you get what you pay for. You know, and the first time I ever had tequila was some cheap shit, and I thought it was nasty. And then when I tried Patron, I was like, oh damn, like it felt so much smoother. And then people tell me all the time, like, there's way better tequilas than Patron. You know, so
Hmm.
but that was already smoother than what I had previously. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I don't drink anymore anyway, so it don't matter. But when I used to drink, I didn't really care for tequila.
Yeah, Patron is like polo. Like real polo clothing. It's way better than that bullshit that we get from Burlington or Marshalls and shit. The knockoff stuff.
Yeah,
Better than South Pole, but it's not fucking, the good clothes like the Michael Kors or, when you go up into the space. Like my I bought a
yeah.
pair of Michael Kors clothes to go to work. Them bitches feel like butter on my pants. Dress pants. Dress pants. Them shits are like butter.
I
Um,
used, I used to have a pair of Michael Kors jeans. They used to like bleed a lot after you gotta like get them dry clean. You can't wash them in the washing machine.
oh. Yeah. Because they're not they're good, right? They use good
Yeah.
material and good
I mean,
good dyes and shit.
any clothing that's like high end, you should dry clean. You shouldn't put it in a washing machine. Anyway. I mean, I know they got the tag telling you how to wash it, but you shouldn't. If you want your clothes to last longer, dry clean them, hang them on wooden hangers.
Yeah, I dry clean anything that's not everyday wear. Like this type of shit is washing machine, but work clothes and shit, nah. That shit too pricey, yo. Them fucking
Back in,
collar shirts is expensive.
yeah, when I used to go out to work, I dry cleaned all of my clothes, my slacks, shirts. The only thing I washed was like you said, these t-shirts and jean shorts and stuff like that or whatever. Even my
Jeans,
Mhm.
jeans, I dry cleaned
jean shorts.
or whatever. Yeah, it's like cargo shorts or whatever. You know what I mean? I haven't
Jorts.
I haven't wore regular clothes in a long time, so I'm forgetting what stuff is. I wear basketball shorts and t-shirts every day.
I got some jorts though. I got some jorts. They just gotta be fashionable jorts. Like, you know what I mean?
Nah, you definitely got some jorts. You wore them when you came to Baltimore.
That's right. That's right. Set the stage. You guys so let me tell you what I found this week. I've been I drop
Religion.
Ash off at school. Definitely not that. I found that a long time ago. I found that a long time ago and gave that up. When when you're young and you want to try and put your kids on the right direction and stuff, religion is great. It's fine, right? You're helping teach morals and stuff. Um, but then there's a point when you have to allow them to make their own decision. Like at 12, 13, 14, 15, 6, somewhere in that range, you say, "Hey, look, make your own decision. I'm not gonna press it on you anymore. I'm not forcing you to go to Sunday service and all that shit, and let them find their fucking way." And that's what happened to me. Like I was into church heavy when I was younger. I mean, so much so that I had the little white shit. Like I was I guess we called them accolades, but it was altar boy, right? In our religion, and not touched. Um, carrying carrying candles and shit, sneaking the wine, or the blood of Jesus, the little cakes and shit. Um, but then I got older and I started to look into them mm, like I think there's something more out there. I just don't know what it is, and I'll come up with my decision and my plan at some point. And that was 20 years ago, and I still haven't decided because I don't have time to really sit down and dedicate time to determining
Yeah.
religion.
I mean, I agree. I agree with a lot of what you said. I just think a lot with religion. I mean, one, I don't believe in it to begin with. We know that already. But I just think religion is used as a reason to like be good. You know what I mean? Like, and you don't need a thing like just be a good person because you're a good person. You don't need some outside force because you're gonna go to this afterlife, this paradise or whatever. So it's like I gotta, get enough points to make sure I make it to the good place or whatever. You know what I mean? Like that shit just seems bogus to me because really, like if you think about it, right? Like out to its logical conclusion if doing these good deeds is what gets you to paradise, right? Like, does your motivation not play a factor into it? Because you're not necessarily doing it because you're a good person. You're doing it because you're trying to rack up these points for the afterlife. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't know, but I
Well,
get what you're saying though.
most religions have the theory that and it. So I get what you're saying, and I think it's the religion and or the practice that people try to portray. Because you have certain people that try to tell you, oh, you have to be but so good to do this and do that. When really all these religions tell you you're gonna mess up, you're gonna be flawed. As long
Hmm.
as you believe in whatever, you're gonna be forgiven. You know what I'm saying? So I think to your point is the weaponization or the weaponizing of how these religions are casted to people like, oh, don't be gay because you're gonna burn in hell, like
Hmm.
no, that's not what it says. It says, you're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that, and God, whatever Messiah you believe in, is gonna forgive you. Whatever prophet you believe in has sacrificed so that you can be forgiven. That's typically what it is. And I
What up,
think,
Ja?
I think people gotta find solace in their own. their own thing. Like me, I was born Catholic and then fell into Christianity just by happenstance. But more to me, I'm more aligned now with more of what Islam believes in because I believe it's one of the
Because you
religions.
want all the wives, nasty boy. That's why you lying there, nasty man.
No,
And,
because
and Catholics are Christians also, by the way.
I think it's one of the religions that, acknowledges all of the other ones and, it kind of tells the truth to me. Not saying the others don't, but I'm like you, Steve. I'm non-denominational. I don't, I have my spirituality and, I'm good, But I
I
get
think
exactly what y'all
it's
saying.
the evolution, though. The evolution of religion is what made it what VP is talking to, and what you're saying. Receiving is what he's saying, which is the weaponization of it. Like even when like I could think about when we were younger, it wasn't that type of thing. Like sure, they used to try and push it on people, I think way more back then. Like I remember people coming to school, in
Jehovah's
fucking
Witnesses.
ninth, 10th grade, even whatever they were. What are the ones that wear dresses all the time on fucking,
Saturdays,
Mormons.
Jehovah's
not
Witnesses.
Mormons, not Jehovah's. I'll think of it. It'll come to me. Anyway,
Oh,
but
Seventh-day Adventists.
not even 7 day.
Oh,
I think it starts with a P. Whatever.
Protestant.
Um, no. Anyway, I remember people coming to school and be like, "Yo, how do you not believe in God? You should believe in God." Da 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 da. Like it used to be push, 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 right? But it wasn't weaponized to say if you don't, you're going to hell. Like today, it's like if you don't, you're going to hell. If you're gay, you're going to hell. If you trust in gay, if you get an abortion, if like you're going to hell no matter what. But my husband can go drunk drive and kill someone in an accident, and that's fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, God is going to forgive that one. He's going to forgive my husband for that. He's going to forgive me for getting caught in a movie theater or whatever, having, sexual intercourse. But he's not going to forgive this man over here who is attracted to other men. That's the ultimate one that's going to send you to hell. And that's where we are today. I don't think religion has always been that. It's evolved to that and it's become political like every fucking thing else.
Are you talking about Presbyterians,
No.
I,
Pentecostals?
Pentecostal, that's the one. I knew it started with a P.
God damn it, VP.
And
Good
they and
job.
they be bad, yo. Ooh, they be coming to school, or they were coming to school bad and
So,
um
so Steve, I think the point that you made is right,
maybe it's
but
just maybe it's just a dress.
I think the point that you made is right regarding the weaponization part of it, right? The part where I would disagree is I would say it's always been like that, right?
Always been that way.
Religion has always been weaponized because
Yeah.
when you think about it back in the day, and when I say back in the day, I'm talking about like in the time of kings and queens, it was this person is king, this person gets to have all the land and all the money and all the notoriety, etc. They get to eat while you're going through famine, etc. They get to live in the castle while you live in the slums because it was ordained by God that this person rules over us. And if you don't do all you can do to support the king and queen and make sure you're giving him your money and your the fruits of your labor, the stuff you take out of ground and your food and a few animals and stuff like that, you're gonna burn in hell because
Yep.
you're not supporting God's plan by supporting the king. You know what I'm saying? And so religion has always been weaponized, and even back with the Greeks and the Romans and stuff like that. This person got to be king or Caesar or whatever because it was ordained by God or whatever. You know what I mean? And anything you do against that, you're going against God.
Yep.
Yeah, I just feel like you should be able to, and I feel like you, VP, same thing you said. You should be able to be a morally sound individual without, someone reminding you that if you do this, there's negative consequences when you're dead. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like there's this guy sitting up on like, George whatchamacallit used to say, the comedian all the time. He used to be like, yo, there's this mythical magical guy in the sky sitting on a cloud watching you all the time and judging you. And
Yeah. George Carlin.
like George Carlin. And that's the way people try to make it seem. And the reality is most people that do good things and are good people don't stop before that they do that good stuff and say, if I do this, it's a pathway to heaven. You know what I'm saying? Even religious people, like these are morals that are built into you, or you're just a shithole. You know what I mean? And we know that there's a lot of those, but you're either a good person by nature because you were brought up and built that way and taught that way by your family and your friends and things like that, or you're a piece of shit. And that's really what it is.
I think two things can be true. I think you can be a good person that has been raised to be a good person, and that you've been instilled with religious views that say, this is the way the creator or whatever you believe in wants you to walk. And then you use it to your own discretion because, there are people that'll do things and they'll feel like morally, I'm aligned with my religion and I'm aligned with my morals and I'm good. It's just that part that we're all saying, I'm not going to push this on this person to be like, oh, you don't go to church every day, because it's people out there like my lady took me to church out here, and they've got multiple locations, and it's a mega church by far. And I just look at people and the things that they do, because there's a whole church culture. There's a whole when something's happening, you raise your hands like this, you do your hands like that. And to me, I've always felt like that kind of stuff is phony. You know what I'm saying? So I think what we're all saying is like, yo, do your thing, be a good person. If you believe in something and that motivates you to be a good person and help you do that, sure, but don't tread on me. You know what I mean, kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm in complete agreement with that. Like I'm not religious. I don't believe in religion or any higher power or anything like that. But like, don't try to push it on me. If you want to be religious, I love it. If you don't, I love it as well. Do you
Don't
let
tell
me do
me I
me?
need to get closer to God. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? You need to spend more time with your God and your Bible. Get the fuck out of
Hmm.
here, bitch. I know you. You were a stripper. Like when times got hard, you stripped. You was selling puss. Like what are we
Well,
talking about?
well,
But now
Easter
now you
Sunday.
all about God. Fuck out of
Easter
here,
Sunday
bitch.
is one of the most lucrative stripper holidays.
Yeah, you
So
need
I've
to get
heard.
closer to God. That's what need to
Yeah.
happen. Um, there's a new hustle, yo. There is a new hustle, and I have learned about it. I think it's all since this ICE thing started to happen and they started like grabbing people up and throwing them out of the country. Well, instead of hanging out by Home Depot, like I don't know if you've driven by the Home Depots here recently, VP, at all in any of your travels. Used to see people outside all the time just waiting like to be picked up, and that's cheap labor. You go grab them, you pay them $50, give them a 6-pack, and they'll probably, put a fence up for you. A couple $100 or whatever. They might rebuild your house. They're just not legal or whatever, or they have felonies and things like that. They can't get a job. Well, they're not there anymore. So I've been taking the kid to school. I do it every day. It's just what I do. This week I've had to make some stops. And after I drop them off, stop at Walmart, pick little things up, knickknacks and shit like that. What I've noticed is that now that you have like the Instacart and all of that stuff, that these people are sitting outside Walmart in the delivery section or the pickup section with their phones in their hands, waiting for those Instacarts to come through. And then they're snatching them, right? They're snatching them quickly off the app and they're already there. You know what I'm saying? And so that seems to be the new hustle. Like every morning I drop him off 8:30 like clockwork. Stop at Walmart. I drive past Walmart on the way home, and in the online pickup section, it's a bunch of them dangs, the Brazilians and all of them just out there waiting, waiting. And then if you wait long enough, I go in, they're out there. When I come back, people are bringing out orders to them and then they're taking off and shit. It's just a hustle. I think that's the new hustle. That's the new Uber without putting people into your car. That's the Uber Eats in the daytime because not as many people are doing Uber Eats in the daytime. Like all these people that want to have their, want to go make money without working for somebody, they're just taking on all these different things. Uber, Grubhub, all that shit. And now the Instacart one seems to be the thing. And Costco, there's tons of them. Tons of them.
Yeah, I mean
You
the
say
gig economy is a real thing, man. But it just kind of it's I'm I don't know how to feel about it, right? Because I feel like the folks who do that kind of stuff, it's needed, and I see it more than your average person because I'm handicapped, right? I'm handicapped. My wife also is handicapped. We can't drive, and so things like food delivery is like clutch for us. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely get why it's needed, but it also feels like exploitive in a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like these drivers don't really get paid a real wage. It's all, mostly tip based, and they don't get health insurance through the company. Anytime they want to try to unionize to get more benefit, the company says, "Oh no, you can't do that because you're an independent contractor or whatever." But then when the government tries to regulate them, they say, "No, you can't do that. It's going to hurt all of our employees." You know what I mean? Like they're trying to have it both ways, and it seems like those drivers are just caught in the middle. Not getting anything, while the people who run the app have enriched themselves to the tune of billions of dollars. So it's
Yeah,
tough, man. It's tough.
they're G'ing off. I don't agree with that though, because again, to me, all of this stuff is a choice. Um, you choose to do that. I'm not saying you choose to live through a struggle, and maybe you have to do that to make the extra money and make ends meet or whatever. But you choose to go out and drive Instacart, drive Uber Eats, deliver food, right? That's your choice, in my opinion. So I don't feel bad about it. You know what the pay is going to be. I know people that have made a great living wage off of it because they've actually sat down and mapped out how many trips they need to do each day to make it a salary, right, at a specific rate. And if they do that every day, or they grind, sometimes they get it done in 3 hours. If they get the right trips, sometimes it takes them 8 hours, and they can get on with their day if it only takes them 3 hours. So it allows them the flexibility. They don't have an attendance policy. They don't have to be in at a certain time. They can take a day off. Like, it sounds bad when you put it in that sense of, oh, they're getting taken advantage of and they're making tons of money from other people, but that's no different than apartment complexes. All these people that are paying these rents in apartment complexes and making those people billionaires. It's always going to be that way. I don't feel bad about it.
So my frat brother TP that just commented, he shout out to Dr. Pendleton. He's got recently received his PhD, and he has a full-time
Salute.
job, educator, smart guy. But he does his thing like when he and I are talking about having a weekend out, he'd be like, "All right, I'm about to pick up these DoorDash joints,"
Mhm.
So he has it to a strategy to where, you can map it out, and it is a good thing. You know what I'm saying? I hear VP's point, but it becomes tricky, because the company still has to make their money too. And I think, they have ways and they offer ways to educate you on how to kind of be smart with it. And I know people that just full-time Uber. Like I have so many drivers that are repeat drivers for me when I go out drinking or doing whatever. They're full-time drivers. And I even know people that'll be like, yo, they'll scoop me. They'll be like, you my last ride. I'm signing off. We going in together. So it has its benefits.
No, it's definitely benefit. I'm not saying like it's not needed or necessary. I don't mean it in that way. I just mean like, I wish that the drivers were able to get a bit more than what they get, is all I'm saying. Like it doesn't feel like, the portion that the drive, and it might be different for like Uber. I'm talking more in terms of like the
Mhm.
DoorDashes and Uber Eats joints, Instacart, like stuff like that. I think that those folks, they might be seen a little bit different in terms of pay than like the food delivery folks.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's just, I just think it kind of, I think it needs to be revamped, is all I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, there's peak times. They have these like I guess badges that you can get, right, to where you get a bonus out of it. So if you hit X amount of rides in a week, you get this much of a bonus, or everything after that gets an additional payout. There's, and then they got times where, if it's raining out, the prices skyrocket. You notice if you go into the to purchase from Uber Eats, it'll say, well, there's a premium right now because of whatever, right? The weather or because there's a lack of drivers or what have you. As long as the companies are doing it the right way and not really trying to take advantage, like DoorDash, who got sued for taking advantage because DoorDash was not paying the tips out. They were getting tips. Let's say I charge you a ride for 12 bucks, or I charge you, delivery for 12 bucks, and you gave 17 bucks. They were still giving 12 to that driver or 8 to that driver, whatever the agreed upon amount was, and they were keeping the 5 plus their portion. So they were
And
just
not
recently sued for that.
and not to mention DoorDash is supposed to give their drivers 100% of the tips. So I mean that shit makes it even worse because
Hmm.
to your example, if I'm giving $17 a tip, DoorDash isn't supposed to get any of that. DoorDash gets its base fee and the service fee for processing it and basically being the hub, but the tip's supposed to 100% go to the driver. I like DoorDash more than Uber Eats because it's a faster app. It's more functional. And then if you have a problem with your food, they rectify it a lot better than Uber Eats. But yeah, they just lost that lawsuit and they
Mm.
got to pay from $10 to maybe 10,000 per like I don't know how many drivers it is, but it's yeah they're gonna
I
be
had
paying out a lot.
I hadn't even seen the lawsuit thing. I use DoorDash when we order food. I hadn't even seen it. I have to look into that. But yeah, but also like you look at you know the companies like when I'm talking about them enriching themselves, right? So you have somebody who just creates an app, right? And I get it that the app it took time, it took money, labor, whatever, right? But you essentially just you created a software, and then other people put their vehicles, their lives on the line being on the road. They can have a car accident, it's raining, they can get robbed, whatever, right? To deliver food through your app. And now, what are all those drivers doing? They're investing heavy into AI because as soon as they can get autonomous driving done, when Tesla brings FSD to the United States, full self drive, they're going to buy a fleet of cars,
Hmm.
put autonomous driving, and then they're not going to have any more drivers. They might have a few for people who don't trust it. They're just like, no, I want a person. Maybe there's going to be like an upcharge to have a person drive you versus a robot or whatever. But they're not going to have any more drivers. So it's like they're already making all the money from the food delivery or whatever, and then now they're about to kick the people off in the next 5 years or so.
Yeah. That's why they're gonna have to focus on, like, if I was doing that, I would focus on like grocery delivery and stuff like that, because no matter how autonomous the car is, it's not gonna take the groceries and bring them to your door. And that's also why Walmart has kind of moved to a model where they'll actually bring you your groceries to your home. You sign the waiver, the person will come in and put the shit away. Like a whole new model that's gonna really throw people off, because
It,
the
it
people that
should
use it
be.
just because they're lazy, that's even better. Or the people that use it because they're not mobile, that's great for them. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Or extremely elderly people, that maybe they can't carry the bags. They already pack them small, but you pack, if I order 16 things in 16 bags, that's 16 trips for an elderly person to the door
Right.
and then back to the kitchen, versus now I can just sign the waiver and hopefully this person comes in and puts it where the stuff goes, puts the milk in the fridge and shit like that.
Or you're in an
Pretty smart.
apartment on the second floor.
Do you get to pick the age and gender of the person doing this?
You nasty, nasty man.
Too many
Just
movies.
for research purposes.
Send me a picture of who I can choose from, like the massage part. Give me that
DJ
one
gonna be
right there.
DJ gonna be like that dude on IG with the basketball wives. Smash.
Yeah. Smash.
Smash.
Oh,
Yeah.
that shout out to him though. Shout out to him.
Swipe. Swipe.
Shout out to him though. His
Yeah,
analysis
Esmeralda.
is great.
Let me get Esmeralda and then give me 5 bottles of warming KY
Whoa.
and a large milk,
Oh,
a gallon of
oh
milk.
Whoa.
man.
Speaking
So
of
that's the
lube,
hustle.
speaking of lube, Steve, your boy Joe Budden rides around with lube in the trunk everywhere.
Did
I
what?
mean, I have to assume when you're a celebrity, I doubt that there aren't others that have to go bags, yo.
Yo, my man has VP. My man Joe Budden has a go bag with cash and lube, yo. It's a nasty man. Like,
Wow.
yo, dog. Like he says on his podcast, yo, dog. You can't be speaking on other people's situations and you ride around with a driver, no less, a professional driver, no less, with a go bag of money and lubrication. And then your girl is on the pod telling the world that she's finding your secret stash of lube that she didn't know existed. This is a sick man.
Well,
So
she knew
what's the
it
task
existed.
for like you
Well,
go to the strip club or something?
no. Well, the strip club, and also this nigga, there's no secret. He said it. He buys pussy. Like he been
Oh,
buying pussy forever. He pays
gotcha.
escorts, and I'm not condoning that behavior, especially when you're a celebrity. Like, why you gotta buy pussy? But I guess what's better, right? Would you rather buy the pussy that's consensual and get all
No, it's
your stuff?
illegal. It's illegal in New Jersey and New York. That's the first part.
It
Well,
shouldn't be.
escorting is not illegal, right?
It
And
is
if
illegal.
the
It is
no, no,
illegal.
no, 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 sexual escorting is, but us having a date is not illegal.
Right, but escorts aren't doing dates. They're
Uh, uh,
the
uh,
dating
uh,
part
uh,
of it is to
uh,
get
uh,
around the
uh,
legal.
uh, 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 uh. If the agreement between she and I is that we're going to have dinner and have a great night, then that's the escort part. Now, what it leads to, if we have if we have great chemistry and we decide to go back somewhere and hang out, and it leads to sex.
Chemistry,
Steve,
paid
hey,
chemistry.
Steve is how California casinos exist. In California, if you play craps or roulette, you can't have dice or a ball determine the outcome of a game. So they put on the craps table, they put cards 1 through 6, and they shuffle them up, and then they put them out. 6 cards out, and then so like it'll say if a 2 rolls, a 2 represents 5. If a 6 roll, that represents 4 or whatever, and then that's how they do the payouts or whatever. So you roll the dice to determine what the cards pay.
Well,
That's
that's like
Steve.
the well, that's the Deland card club up in here in Florida. You can't have a casino in that area. They weren't approved for casinos. So what happens is VP, you basically represent the card club, right? And so when the dealer deals, they deal you as the card club. So the dealer doesn't get cards. You know what I mean? So you get them and I get them, and then we play against you. And
Wow.
that's how they get it off. That's how they
Yeah.
get it off. That's how they get the
This
poker off.
the comment of the day is as long as he don't directly hand her the money directly, he's good.
That's
That's
not
right.
true.
That is definitely not true. It's not true at all.
I mean,
Listen,
I would
if
argue you'd be better off handing her money, because if you
listen,
pay her electronically and it
n-
goes through the banking system, you
mm,
don't know where that money's being wired through before it gets to her, and
listen,
now you're being hit with interstate
No,
trafficking.
no. It's not that VP. It's the
if I leave
complicity.
it on the dresser, if
Yeah,
I
Oh,
leave it on
okay,
the
I got you.
dresser
yeah.
I
and I
got you.
say,
My bad.
hey,
Business.
My
yeah,
bad,
hey,
Tom. My bad, TP. I thought you meant like use the app, like you Venmo it to her or something like
Nah.
that.
no, no. If I leave the money on the dresser and this is just funding to help you
And
get
you walk
home, no, you just need some money to get home. You could borrow it. You know what I mean?
to,
I'll
to,
let
to
you know
tip
when
your
I need
Uber.
it back. When I need it back, that's all. You got it.
Jesus
I'm not.
Christ.
Look, it is nasty work. Like I said, it's even. But you didn't let me finish what I was saying. Would you prefer somebody that gets that type of thing, or the Deshaun? Like if I'm a celebrity, do I want that to come out,
Deshaun
or do I
Watson.
want the Deshaun Watson? Like
Deshaun
I'm at
Watson is a
the
totally innocent man.
okay, or do I want the Justin Tucker shit to come out where I got 19 bitches coming out and saying that I walked into a massage parlor and just decided on random days that today was the day. Like I made this big kick, so rub this big
Well,
like
well,
that's
he pulled his dick out on the road farms. That's his problem.
Hey, I mean, Steve makes a point. I mean, I'm, me, sex work is work. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Like this whole like prostitution being a legal thing, I think it's stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like legalize it, regulate it, tax it.
That's what other countries do.
It's a
right?
huge part of
And
the economy in Colombia, and they
yeah,
fund the shit.
I
They
mean,
fund
you
this.
look at
They
places
fund the
like
TEDs.
Amsterdam or
Holland,
whatever. You know what I'm
Holland,
saying?
yeah, Holland,
Holland,
yeah,
Amsterdam,
yeah.
yeah, like you know.
Hold
But
on. Notes. I'm getting my notepad out. Where
but
else?
to your point about the whole the alleged Deshaun Watson and the alleged Justin Tucker behavior, like that part of it never makes sense to me because it's like to your point about what EJ's saying with Budden, right? Like these people are out there, so like what are you bringing over, massage people for, and then doing all this shit when you literally could just get an escort or whatever,
Well,
and
well, VP, me and Steve have always maintained that these women that are coming forward, and like we always say, you always say they should be heard but not believed, right?
mhm,
These people, some of these women have admitted they were clients to do sex work, right? They were contracted to do that. The problem with him was that you are worth X amount of dollars. You probably should go to an actual service versus trying to pay these girls from the shop around the corner where you don't
Trying to
have
get a
any
deal.
legally binding joint. He's trying to get a $50
Yo,
hand
I
job
only
where
got
you worth
37 on me
250
today, ma.
million. That's
that there
ridiculous.
there you go. Like instead, he basically he's trying to get a steak from Chili's instead of getting one from Ruth's Chris.
Exactly.
But also to counter your argument, VP, some people, when you go to the strip club, there's 30 strippers to choose from, but the bartender is the one that you're more interested in. And she may not even look the best out of all of them. It's just the fact that you haven't seen what's behind door number two. You know what I'm saying? Like I can have door number one
It's a
for a
very
dollar
interesting
or
thing.
two or $5, but door number two is really interesting because some people just want to know, like, are they round? Are they brown?
It's a
What does it look
very
like back
interesting
there?
thing. It's
Here's
very
here's something here's something that you don't hear on the internet every day. Steve, that argument was very persuasive.
it's a very interesting take.
I'm just
A
saying.
very interesting take.
Jeez.
I'm just
Jeez.
saying.
And for the record, TP, these comments will not self-destruct. Sorry, sir.
They will. One,
They will self-destruct. Yeah, absolutely.
they'll self-destruct.
Holy
Um,
God.
yeah, I don't see a problem with a millionaire or whatever, however much money he has driving around. If you have a sex addiction, right, and you pay escorts, then it's better to be safe than sorry. And hopefully that bag has, the lube, the money, and the protection. You know what I'm saying? You would assume and hope that that's the case. And she did say that she knew about it, but her question was like, if I haven't been here in a month, and usually this is around when I'm here because we go get, broads for me to play with and you to watch. Why is this bag now randomly back in the car when it shouldn't have been here since I haven't been here in a month? That's the question, and that's the conversation that you have to have.
But the thing about me with Button, and me and you got into this in the chat about his conversation about Neo and Neo's multiple wives. It's like, my boy,
But they're
for
not
you,
married.
well, we don't actually, Neo says he is married to them, but again, we can't define what marriage is for these people. They doing what
Oh,
they
you
do.
see, yo, this dude is a Republican.
Yeah,
He gonna be like,
I can't define marriage
just
for
because
Neo.
there's a definition
I
of
can
marriage,
I can define marriage. Like, did these people do they have like a marriage license issued by the state in which they reside?
I don't
or
know
do they
that.
live in a
Nobody knows
or
that.
do they live in a state where common law is recognized and they meet the
We don't know that. Nobody knows
requirements?
that.
Right.
All I'm
Because I
saying is
mean,
we
like
don't
we
know
all
that.
we all have that one cousin who got her dude in her phone listed as my husband, or that
For
one girl
15
who worked.
years.
That don't mean
For
they're
Look,
15
married.
years. But
I
but
would tell
VP,
you
my point
80% of the
is,
female population has another man in their phone that's daddy, but
but
that's not her father.
Right.
VP, my point is, it's not up to Joe Budden or the podcast to define that for Neo, especially when the host is riding around with a go bag and a bottle of lube. My boy. You
Yeah, I
can't
mean,
call someone else deviant, and you're you're a wild
right.
now.
Don't throw stones. You live in a glass house.
Mm.
Thank you, VP. That's all I'm saying.
I
You run,
guess.
you ride
I
around with a
guess.
bag of lube, and you mad at Neo because he got 4 consensual bad women that want to be his whiz. Stop it. He's just jealous. Joe
Well,
Budden, you're jealous.
no, because he does the same thing. He does the same thing. So basically, what he's saying, I'm going to try and summarize it because I don't want to make this too long of a topic. He says Neo should not refer to that as polygamy. All that is sex and fun because he has 3 women. They go allegedly from his baby mom. He has 3 women. They go out every night. They go pull bitches, and he has orgies every night. Neo calls that polygamy. Joe Budden is saying, based on what his baby moms is saying is truly happening, that doesn't qualify as polygamy. Those are sex games, which is the same thing Joe does. He calls the shit sex games. And that really is what that is. Like,
But the
polygamy.
difference, but the difference is, Steve. Joe says he's in a relationship with one woman. Neil says he's in a relationship with multiple women, which is literally the definition of polygamy.
Yeah,
You
but
can't.
I think what Steve is saying, EJ, is that from the description of what the I think the baby mom is saying, that's they're not in a relationship. It's the baby mom and Neo are in a relationship, and they
No, no,
just getting
no,
randoms
no,
to hook up.
No,
no,
they're not.
baby.
They're not
So
in a relationship.
Neil's baby mom is not with him anymore. So she's
Oh, okay.
upset
I'm sorry.
that Neil has all of these women. Neil, from what we know
And
from
he's
the public.
introduced them to his kids.
Neo, so that's a different argument. But Neo, what we know from the public standpoint is he has 4 main women that he's in a relationship with, bar none, by any other definition. That's polygamy. Done. There's nothing to talk about. How he how
I'm
he
pretty sure
navigate.
it's wives in polygamy.
Yeah, and I mean again, depending on where you are and how you
I
live.
mean, tomato, right? I
No,
know.
I mean, listen, it could be his wives. We listen. We don't know his legal documentation or what
Well, I
NDAs or what
mean,
contracts he has.
if we're getting technical in polygamy, they're not really married either, because you can't be
Thank
married to
you,
more than one person.
VP. Thank you, thank you.
He's a
This is
freak.
what I'm saying.
They're
You
they're
can't
typically
define
married to one of the wives, and then the other sister
our
wives,
tag
they wear
alongs.
rings and stuff like that, but they're not technically married,
VP. This is exactly what I was saying. You
or they're
can't
married in
come
their
at
religion. They're not married legally. Let's put it
you
that way.
can't you
Right.
can't come
Having
at
more
this
than one
guy.
spouse.
And that's what Neo's doing. And the JVP is very nasty for going on there. Melissa Ford is sitting here screaming, it's not polygamy. Shout out to Ish for standing his ground and Flip for trying to argue the point. Neo is doing his thing. You can't shame him for doing his
Listen,
thing. You can't do that.
listen.
Dog.
I hear what you're saying,
We have a
EJ.
problem in society with just going out and saying we freaks. Like, if you're a freak, you're a freak. Now
And Neo
everybody
is saying
thinks if you go out now, if everyone goes out now, people feel like if they go out and say that they're a freak, they're gonna be considered Diddy because they've made the word freak sound like it's attached to this
freak off.
monster of an individual.
Freak
Like,
off.
Right.
you a freak, dog. You like to fuck me, and a lot of dudes do, and that is perfectly fine. Don't try to justify it by saying, "Oh, we're in a caring, loving relationship," and they take dog. If you die tomorrow, if you were poor, you think them 3 broads would be with Neo? If he was poor, you think them 3 broads would be
That
with
ain't the
Neo?
same question.
No,
You
no, no.
think
You never know.
if
I'm
Joe
just
was
asking a
poor,
question.
if Joe was poor, Sade
No,
wouldn't be with him.
that's right. I agree.
But the thing, well, two things, right?
Well,
First,
listen. Well, before you say this, VP, if any of us were poor, none of our women would be with us. Let's be real.
No, I started poor. I
I
started poor.
started poor.
Well, not
I'm
poor,
still
but
poor.
But
and I'm still poor. Let's just
uh,
say, for the record, for
both,
anyone
both,
listening, tax
both you
people, all of
motherfuckers,
that. I'm
both you
poor.
Especially them.
Yeah,
both of you
yeah.
motherfuckers are not poor. You're rich in other areas, and you guys are too.
Rich spirit,
Y'all are probably like 5% of the male
personality.
population. Y'all are with your high school sweethearts. Y'all are probably like
Not
5%
high
of
school.
the male population. Well,
Not high school.
whatever it
We've been
is.
together for a long time, but not high school.
I mean, well, shit, y'all went to the same high school.
No, we didn't. We went to 2 different high
Y'all,
schools.
she didn't go to Central.
Mm-mm.
I'm with my
Okay.
high school sweetheart, but we
But
didn't
we've
go
been
to the
Well,
same
together
high
for
school. So I don't
we've
know.
been
I don't know if
together
that's
for a very long time.
yeah. I might
y'all,
be. I
y'all
might be
two
with
are 5%
Steve.
of the population. Y'all two
I
What
think
do
I'm
you
5%.
with
mean?
Steve because we didn't go to the same high school either. So I don't know if that's my high school sweetheart.
Man, shit's fucking- Y'all are 5% of the population. Y'all are with women that y'all from the same hometown with. You know how many motherfuckers have?
I
I
don't.
mean, I
But
I
go
would
ahead.
say
Tell us. Tell us.
I would say two things. One, first, just
I
to
hate
kind
you.
of push back on the point EJ made. I can't sit here and just allow the Melissa Ford standard of slander. Like yeah.
That's because you don't watch the JBP. That's why.
Nah, I don't. I just remember her from those Black Men magazines. So,
Yeah.
Most
Watch
people do.
if you watch the podcast, she'll piss you off. You'll be like,
but
I don't think she would, because VP is very much like Mark Lamont Hill, and so because of that, her and Mark Lamont are on the same side 99% of the time. VP would be like,
he be
she's right,
capping,
she's
and
right.
Martin Lamar Hill be capping.
Of course, you got to
but
get rich. How you think he
but
got
to the
rich?
other point, I think Steve's point is excellent. It's like people, like we live in a country that's very prudish, and we're not sex positive. You know what I'm saying? So like anything that folks do that is
Taboo.
not traditional, it's
Taboo.
it's like it's frowned upon. People look at it like you do that, or what? You know what I'm saying? And it's why stuff like the Neo thing, like Steve said, happens where people are like, oh, there's 4 women, oh my god, like, she's a slut, they're a whore, and all this kind of BS or whatever. It's just, some people like what they like. People need different things to get off or whatever, and it is what it is. As long as
But
both
but
people are consenting to this, like, it's whatever.
but VP, that is the exact argument I'm saying for the Joe Budden podcast to shame Neo for having openly out in the world that he has multiple women, they're consensual, he has whatever arrangement he has with them behind closed door. For this same guy who rides around with a go bag of cash and lube to
Yeah,
shame Neo,
it's nasty
it,
work.
it's hypocrisy at its
Yeah,
finest.
it's hypocritical for
But
sure.
I agree slightly, but I don't think they were shaming him saying you nasty. They're shaming him saying don't justify it by calling it this. Like, you're a whore and you like to smash whores. You're rich. You're a singer. So you put all three of those things together, you're gonna have a really active sex life if you choose to, and that's what he's doing. But to
I mean, I
try and
think
say it's
I
this,
think it just
we're in a
depends, Steve.
relationship. You ain't in a relationship. These bitches ain't cleaning your house. They not cooking. They don't care for you. They're there for the thrill and the fill, and that's it.
I just think, again, to each his own. Everybody has. I saw this couple or this throuple online, and they were like, the girl they were having trouble in a relationship. The girl was talking to her mom about it, and the mom was like, have you guys ever thought about like bringing in somebody else to the relationship that might help, spice things up or whatever?
Her mom said that.
Yeah, to the girl. So she talks to the dude about it. And he was like, we could try, and it ended up being the mom. Now he's with both of them. So you know what I'm saying? But like people look
No,
at that
I'm
like, oh
judging
my
that.
God, like that's not,
No, I'm judging that. I am
hey,
judging that.
people do what they do. Everybody got
No,
their own thing.
I'm judging that. That's that Kansas, Kentucky, Alabama backwoods shit. Like, I'm
Why?
not judging the mom saying go do it, and if they went and found a third, I'm judging the fact that, and I'm not even judging the guy because he's smashing the mom and the daughter. I'm judging the daughter and the mom for being in the same sexual relationship at the same time.
That
That
shit.
No,
is
that's not the same. It's not.
disgusting.
They according to them, they don't sleep together, but he's with both of them.
That's
That
still
shit is sick.
nasty, dog.
That's just
That's
sick.
still sick.
That's sick.
That is
That-
still nasty. Mom she need to be committed, yo. She's a filthy, filthy thing, yo.
That boy that committed. Damn.
Meant it.
She
You
she
meant
got
that one.
problem.
When
She
when
got
you
problem.
said Steve, when you said what's your price? What were you talking about here? You said what's your price?
So I was thinking, like, Trump came out this past week, or maybe it was last week, whenever it happened, and he said that $5 million they could buy a gold card, right? If you're an immigrant, illegal immigrant, whatever, you could buy a gold card, $5 million, you could be a citizen, right? Be considered a citizen.
5 million US.
5 million US. That is Trump's gold card. Forget the green card, gold card. And I feel like that's just gonna bring all the doughboys. It's just basically showing that he's not racist. He just don't like poor people. It wasn't the immigrants, it was the poor immigrants that was the problem. But none of that matters in this question. My question to you is, in today's world, if Trump were to come out and say you can sell your citizenship to someone that thinks that believes in the whole MAGA, make America great again, and where the direction that the US is going in is, what would be your price to sell that citizenship to someone else? Now you would lose your citizenship and you go take your place in society where they came from. What's your price?
Do I get a
So
choice in where I go?
No, it could be India, it could be
See,
Yugoslavia.
that's the problem. You know what I mean? Because it's like I say a price and then I
It's
end
it's
up in
it's
fucking
it's
Somalia or some
so
shit.
think of
You
it
know
like
what I'm
this.
saying?
Think of it like this. It's an eBay bid. It's an eBay
Nah,
bid, and you get to set your what's that called? Your I forget what the actual eBay calls it, but it's a
like
word
your
for
like your
you.
your your
Your
floor
mid,
or whatever.
yeah, your floor. So give me two then. Give me your price if you could choose, right? So let's say you could choose and it was London, beautiful London, England, wherever, right? Or you couldn't choose and you had to set your floor. What's the prices?
If I could choose, I would say, I would go with probably 3.
3 million.
Yeah, because I feel like with my knowledge, I could turn 3 around. I wouldn't need to be like
You
crazy
you
amount.
wouldn't be turning it around, dog. You'd be fine with 3. This
Yeah, I
nigga
mean, yeah,
said
no
3
doubt.
like it was $30.
No, I'm saying I definitely would be good with 3, but I'm saying I could also make 3 turn to more with my
Right.
knowledge.
I
But
got you.
that if I could choose, I would say like 3, and then I don't know. I definitely need to be somewhere that speaks English because I don't want to learn another language. So it'd be like Canada or United Kingdom, something like that. Australia. No, they got too many weird animals. I see too many
TP
videos
says
of
10
people with.
mil. So are you saying 10
I
mil
need 10 mil.
and
I need 10 mil. I
10
need
mil to
10 mil
choose, or
and to
10 mil
choose.
as your
10
bottom if
mil,
you couldn't choose?
10 mil and to choose. Because if I'm giving you citizenship, I'm now giving you, let's just say this person that I'm trading with, right, is 25, 26, whatever. I'm now giving you an opportunity from wherever you came from, and you can now create a family. You have now a generational thing. And then I'm also saying that I may never come back to the States to see my family again. So now I need 10 mil. And I'm going to choose. I'm going to DR, I'm going to Mexico, somewhere I got higher private security. I can employ, I'm in a little town, maybe Quintanilla Rue. I have the whole town under my money, and I'm good. I need 10 mil. I need 10 mil.
What if you couldn't choose?
I couldn't choose.
If
I'm
I
not doing shit.
if I couldn't choose, I likely wouldn't do it. But if I did, if it was an either or thing, I gotta do it. I think I would
You
probably
niggas is lying.
say. I think I would probably say like 15.
You niggas is lying.
If I couldn't choose, I'm not doing shit because to VP's point, I could end up in fucking in the gulag. Like I
Every,
don't.
Right.
every everybody says that till the number is there. The money was in front of you, and somebody say, "Yo, I'm giving you this," and you're gonna have to move somewhere. You're not gonna know. You gonna take it. Like it's that age old. How much would it take for you to suck a dick? I ain't sucking no dick. Man. I ain't never sucking no dick. Well, I got 5 million in the suitcase. Well, can I get a
No,
sex test for? Can I get
no,
an H? Can
no,
I get an
no,
STD test first?
no,
Like for
no,
5.
no, no. I'm done. No,
Oh,
no,
Oh
for the
my
five.
I'm
god,
not.
yeah.
No, no. You wow.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
Oh my God, bro. You do remember, right? You have to. You're not gonna get all this money in the bag. So, you know what I'm saying? Anything could happen to you. They could lie to
listen,
you. They could finagle you. Whatever.
yo,
Nah.
if somebody says to me, I could choose, I'm right about the same as you, VP. 3.5 was my number. 3.5 is what I feel like if I
Oh, y'all
wanted to hit
niggas
the
is cheap.
lotto today, three and a
Y'all
half
niggas
is
is
the
cheap.
minimum for me to choose. I'm taking 3.5 and going to London. And I'm chilling. And that 3.5 is gonna turn into 7, 8, 10.
Not in
Yeah.
Not in London. London, the pound is way more expensive than the dollar.
It's not way more,
No,
but
but I
I
mean,
get
but
I
the
get what you're
thing is,
saying. But I'm talking about the
with
investments and stuff like that.
right, with some knowledge, you can invest. You get. Let's say you took the 3.5. You could put 1.5 of it in a high yield savings account. That's going to bring in $5,000-$10,000 a month just in interest.
Mhm.
You know what I
No,
mean?
I'm just saying I wouldn't go to London. I'm gonna go somewhere where the dollar is
Where there's
triple.
poor people and they go want to
Right, but
rob
I mean, you
you.
don't got to
Because
go to
we
London. You
are.
can go. You can go out. You can go to the UK and live in the country.
Yeah, you could go anywhere. I mean, but
I wouldn't. I just wouldn't go where the pound is. I just wouldn't go
for
there.
me, I'm going somewhere where there's a good society and a good some type of good structure. I don't know that
Yeah,
Mexico is my first choice or my
exactly.
second choice. You know,
I'm
to
going
your
to
point.
Mexico City.
No,
Mexico
it's
City.
too much. It's too much corruption and drugs and
Mhm.
kingpins in Mexico.
All
Like
right,
that.
well,
Like
I'll
that's
go to
why I
Panama.
didn't say I didn't say the Caribbean, because in my mind I'm thinking about like climate change and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like these islands, they're gonna be wiped out eventually. So I don't know if I want to live there.
Yeah,
So
put me somewhere.
that's what I'm talking.
Put
I'm
me
talking about a
somewhere
place with,
safe,
yeah,
good
with a
health
little bit more
care.
infrastructure that's not cold,
Yeah, shit. Even
like
Canada,
Canada.
I'll take that bitch and go straight to Canada, 3.5, and be good. If I
I go to France or Spain maybe or Italy.
Yeah, any of
Maybe
that's good
Italy.
to me. If I couldn't choose though, my number goes pretty damn high. And it is because
Yeah.
the same thing you guys said, you don't know where you're gonna land. But with the right amount, you can make yourself go. Like it's not saying, oh, you're here and you gotta stay here forever. You still have your movements and your ways to get around. You just won't be considered a US citizen. In that light. And so I think my number gets higher, but I don't think it gets extremely higher because as soon as I get it, I'm
Oh,
out.
see, you didn't say that. I thought it was like I gotta stay in this place. If it can be, if I can still, if I got freedom of movement,
But
then
you don't
yeah,
have to stay here.
I'm not I'm not taking the I'm taking the dealers the randomizer. I'm taking like 15-20 mil and you can send me wherever. And then I'm hoping it's somewhere like Somalia that don't really got no government, because I'm gonna live somewhere else and then never send them their tax money.
Or VP, even if you live in Somalia, all you would need to do
I'm
is
not living in
I'm,
Somalia.
I'm just saying if you did, you just needed to get guns for hire, right? And you be the CIA's number one target in the next 10 years because you'd be, just doing whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? And yeah,
EJ watching all the wrong shows. He watching
Yeah.
everything except Paradise.
I don't even want
Hmm.
to talk to you about shows until you watch Raising Canaan, okay? I'm done with you. I wanted to say this. I'm done with you and Benji's because as much as you love the Power Universe, as much as you love the 90s of the Northeast, New York, Connecticut, and Jersey, and you haven't watched Raising Canaan all the way through, I'm so upset
Look,
with you, bro.
look, your line brother called you a bozo.
He's not my
Yeah.
line brother,
Oh,
but
my bad.
I have
Your
watched
frat brother
Paradise.
called you a bozo.
I have watched it. I have watched it recently. Me and Oleg was trying to get through it recently, but
Trying to get through it.
yeah. Wait, yes, Steve is not watching Raising Canaan. Yes.
I started raising Canaan and things happened. Better shows came out. That's what happened.
No,
It's
it's
not
it's the
like,
best. It's the best power show there
oh,
is,
okay.
bar
Yeah,
none.
but I had to finish regular power. Regular power was taking up my hood. Like I can't
Nigga,
watch too
regular
many
power
hood
been done
shows.
for
If
10
I watch
years.
too many hood shows at once, that shit make me triggered. Like I'd be like, yo, it's time to go get money, yo. Fuck this 9 to 5 shit, yo. It's time to go get money. I can't,
Yeah.
I can't, yo.
To TP's point, Rock alone. See, don't give him too much TP.
Nah,
Don't give him too
I already seen it. I seen the nudity. I already
much.
look. And I googled all of that.
Shout out to Patina Miller. God damn it.
Yeah,
Shout out to
I
Patina
don't.
Miller. God
I don't
damn
need to watch it to see her. She alright.
it.
She alright.
Shout out to her. God damn it.
Nah,
Listen, man.
Paradise is good, man. I'm
Did
loving
you
it.
watch the last episode,
Yeah,
VP?
I'm caught up. I'm caught up.
Yo, that last episode was so good. I don't want to spoil nothing,
Yeah.
so I'm not going to. But I am going to say
Well,
that
the,
episode,
la- the
even
last
though,
thing I saw was Billy's death.
okay,
Oh,
yeah,
so you like 2 episodes behind them.
you're a
Okay.
few behind, and there's you're gonna get a couple. You're gonna get some ground breaking. Make you think what the fuck, and then you're gonna get this next episode or this last episode that was like This last episode was so fucking good and felt
Yeah.
like every day, like how you could. And the thing about it is, there's no suspense in it, but you still feel suspense because you already know how they turned out. They showed you how they turned out in the fucking first episode. We all underground, you know what I'm saying? But they did that last episode so good, yo. Oh my god, man, they're killing it. They are absolutely
Yeah.
killing that show.
Yeah.
I love that show.
I'm liking it a lot. I am liking it a lot. You know what was good about the last episode? I'm gonna try to say what I say without giving anything away for EJ, since he hasn't watched yet. Is that the stuff that was happening in the episode? You could see it happen in real life,
Wait,
like with the report,
Exactly.
like with the reporter on the roof
VP,
during the storm.
Yeah.
VP, wait, because I was just about to say, motherfucker, you have never been able to just give anything
Right.
and not
Just don't even say
get
nothing
the
because you're gonna
storm.
ruin it.
I didn't even-
Yeah. Like, yo, remember that time when
Well, no,
You
if
are,
EJ,
just
if
you
you
are
watched,
horrible, bro.
if
You're
you
horrible.
watched up to the episode where Billy died, you already know how they ended up in the cave. So I'm not giving anything away.
But I'm
listen,
just saying, historically,
they
you
did
are not good with
so good with
Well,
that
nonsense.
shit. The
so
helicopter was
my
probably
point is,
my
EJ, is
favorite part.
when you watch the episode, the show is gonna be cutting is not necessarily cutting back from like past present. It's cutting back from like
I'm fucking
what's
with you. I
happening
get
in the
it.
White House to what's happening in the media. And you could see what's happening in the media at least and be like,
Mm,
it doesn't seem fictional. It seems like I could see
mm,
this happening in real life.
Nigga,
Like
mm.
what's happening in the White House don't seem fictional. I could see
exactly.
that except for the fucking what did you call that? The self-consciousness of it. Like I could see
Yeah.
all of it except for that part of it. Like,
Yep.
yo, you got to watch that shit, man.
I'm
You
gonna
got to.
watch it tonight if possible. I mean, but
It's
now
very
I'll
very
fuck
good
with
show.
you, VP. I'll fuck with you, VP, because VP be on here and he'll be like, I don't want to give it up, and this motherfucker gives you the whole shit. He'll give you the whole shit, and that's why me and Steve be like, we're not gonna watch it anyway. We don't give a fuck, you know.
Yeah, I remember.
I just hope that this episode isn't their peak. Like I hope that the rest of the episodes, because there's only 3 more this season, because I think it's 10. And then they got renewed for season 2 already. But
Yeah.
I'm just hoping that the next 3 are that good, because this one was whew, that shit was fire, yo. They did an
I
amazing job with that shit.
I remember when I still worked in the office when that movie Lone Survivor with Mark Wahlberg came out.
Oh
And
yeah.
I was talking
I
about
like
it with
that movie.
somebody at work, and I'm like, yeah, man. I was like, when it get to the end, after his team dies or whatever, and the girl who sat next to me was like, why are you giving away spoilers? And I'm like, the movie's called Lone Survivor. Like,
Yeah, but
Still, VP, still. People
come
don't
on,
think
dog.
that deeply.
all right.
Like they title a movie Earthquake, and I'm like, yo, it's crazy. It was a massive earthquake. You like, come on, dog, you giving spoilers. Like, come on, dog.
But they don't know when the team died. You know what I mean? Look, go watch Paradise. Raising Canaan will be put on my to-do list. I
No,
told you there's
you
certain
have to watch
there's
it.
certain shit that I have to
No, Steve,
sit
I'm
myself
sick.
down.
I'm sick of fighting you with this. You have to watch Raising Kanan. It's the best
All right.
power series
I
since
will
Power.
watch Raising Canaan if you agree to bail me out if I decide to go try to get
Got you.
money and get caught.
I got you. Shit,
EJ,
you
You pay my lawyer fees.
did you
nah,
watch
I can't pay
Nobody
the
Wants
lawyer.
This?
Nobody wants this.
Or
I
Nobody
Another
never
one
heard
Wants
he
of that.
That?
didn't watch.
I didn't hear about
That's
that.
another.
What's
We
that?
told
We
you about
talked about
that.
it on the podcast. Steve already
When?
watched it.
That's a Netflix
It's like,
rom-com joint.
it's like 3 weeks ago.
Nobody wants this. Oh, it's a rom com. Sign me up. I love. I love rom
Yeah,
com.
it's a rom com on Netflix with
Bell.
Kristen Bell.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
She
And
killed it.
the episode's only 30 minutes. So it's 10
So it's
episodes,
quick.
30 minutes. So
It's
quick.
it's a good watch for you and wifey too. Like that's
Yeah.
we watched it together, and like it's one of those. And it's not like mushy type shit neither. But it's funny. It's a
Am I
comedy.
am I gonna look at her and be like, bitch? This is
No.
why I don't
Nah,
like
nah,
you.
nah.
Oh, all
Nah, she might look at
it's
you.
just
She might look at
it's
you
just
like
straight.
that.
Yeah, I don't.
It's
That's
straight
why
comedy.
I might not watch that.
And
There will definitely be a point in there when the bag comes up, VP, that she gonna look at EJ and be like,
and it's relatable, though. Like her character is a podcast host, so so you
Y'all
can
niggas
relate.
"That's
trying to
true."
set, y'all niggas trying to
Her,
set me up. Fuck that.
her and her sister,
Yeah,
her sister's a baddie too.
yeah, I love
Yeah,
her
see,
sister
nope,
in
y'all,
Succession.
nope,
They some
y'all,
great
nope,
whites, and
y'all
they
trying
white.
to set me up. I'm not. Nope. Y'all trying to set
That's a
me
good.
up.
It's
Hey,
a
listen,
rom
man.
com. It's very
It's a
good.
good show.
It's done well.
It's a good show, and it's funny.
Surprisingly, it's done well because it's a Netflix joint. You know how I feel about Netflix.
Facts. So Spider-Man has the
Which one have you
premiere.
not seen?
Well, I'm gonna tell you what you haven't seen because I know you haven't seen it, sir. There's Spider-Man has a Disney Plus series, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. It's an
Oh, I saw
animated
that.
Oh,
show.
it's cartoon, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet, but I saw it
Animated,
on the
yes.
Cartoon, nigga. It's a cartoon.
Animated. Yeah,
yeah.
TP trying to get me to watch. TP is like TP Spider-Man is his favorite character of any comic genre, and
Oh,
Good
Batman is
character.
mine.
Spider-Man is dope. Batman's dope. They're just not Wolverine.
Yeah.
I forgot to share this graphic with y'all, but there's a graphic that shows the popularity of each character through time. Wolverine had his peak for a little bit of time, but Spider-Man and Batman are the two most liked animated characters of all time, which is
I
Yeah.
think
crazy.
so. Well, Spider-Man has tons of movies, so these kids and everything, like he never gets old.
Hmm.
Um, and Batman, same thing, movies and lots of cartoons or animated series, cartoons, video games, like they both got all of them things like that were popping. I think if you look at the time frames, X-Men had their time frame, when they were in the arcades and stuff like that, 90s,
Yeah.
like we saw X-Men 97. I guarantee that's probably the period when Wolverine was probably holding strong, but because of Fox, was it Fox that was holding
Fox.
Wolverine hostage? Yeah, because of them, I think his popularity might have gone down some, but
Yeah.
it's
For
coming
me,
back. It'll be back.
I've
We
always
be back.
liked I've always liked the better version of Batman than Batman
Christian
himself, and
Bale.
that's no I'm talking about Darkwing Duck, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Mute this nigga immediately.
It was my
Mute this
guy.
nigga immediately. What is
Darkwing Duck. You know what? Darkwing Duck only got fucking ratings because it came on after DuckTales. Like
Yeah,
DuckTales was the
that's
one
true.
that people was there for.
that?
That's
We,
true. I mean,
yeah,
Darkwing is actually a spinoff of DuckTales
It is.
dog. I'll,
because
I'll
remember,
take
Launchpad is from DuckTales.
It
I'll take
is.
Gizmo Duck over Darkwing Duck any day. Gizmo Duck will
So
bust that ass.
so we talked about this earlier in the chat, and they're making a live He-Man movie, which I did not see coming. And I personally am not too excited about because I wasn't a big He-Man guy. And
I was. I
most
loved
people
He-Man
I
as a
know,
kid.
most people I know either love He-Man and hate Thundercats, or they love Thundercats and hate He-Man. So y'all are rare because y'all love both. But how excited are y'all to see a live He-Man movie?
I mean, I didn't even know they was making it, but I definitely will watch it. I was a big He-Man fan. I watched He-Man more than I didn't not like Thundercats, but I didn't really watch it too much. I watched He-Man all the time. That was my shit. So I'll
I'm
definitely be watching
excited.
that.
I'm excited to see how they do
Castle Grayskull.
Battle Cat. Battle Cat. Yeah.
That'd be
And
hard.
Skeletor's probably gonna look fire. They're gonna find a way to make Skeletor look fire.
Yeah.
They're gonna make the castle look great.
Castle Grayskull.
Castle of Grayskull.
Hmm.
It's gonna be fire.
What's
I
the
would
what's
like
the
to see
shorty's name again?
She-Ra.
Shira. Hmm.
That was my dog right there with the little flying Pegasus joint.
Hmm.
Whenever He-Man popped up in a She-Ra episode, it was like, yo, look at
Yeah.
He-Man. He's smashing. Um, I'm
Hopefully
excited.
Zack Snyder's not doing it. I don't want to see a bunch of fucking slow mo.
When's it supposed to come out, EJ? You know?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. They're still. I guess they're still filming, but they
It's
have.
probably super new.
I think they have enough to where they're releasing little spills and stuff like that. So it might be on the horizon. I don't know.
I'm
We
about to
still
check right
looking
now.
at Thundercat.
Yeah,
We
I'm
still
already
looking at
looking it up right
Thundercat.
now.
But we
2026.
but we saw them shelf Thundercats multiple times, and I love Thundercats, but when I think back to it, I realize how racist it is because they made Panthro be the driver basically. Panthro was basically their butler.
He's
Like,
basically the mechanic. He's a mechanic.
right. He was driving Miss Daisy for them. Like,
Tigra is a tiger, right? So they made him the science guy, So they was trying to hint at tigers being from certain places. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. But Thundercats is my shit though.
I
That's my
used to
shit.
like Thundercats too.
Uh,
That was dope.
it says 2026 Masters of the Universe. Nicholas Galazine is He-Man.
Hmm.
Camila Mendez is Tila. Idris Elba will be
Oh,
Man at
wait,
Arms.
what? Eva Mendes is in there?
No, Camila Mendez.
Oh,
And Jared Leto will play Skeletor.
oh, that's gonna
Jared
be
Leto
fire.
being Skeletor is kind of fire.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. He
That's
gonna be
kind of
doing
fire.
what was it in Requiem for a Dream? Did y'all see that?
No,
No,
I
Ass
never
to
saw that.
ass. Oh,
no.
y'all never seen Requiem for a Dream, yo? Yo,
No.
go watch Requiem for a Dream. The only reason I watched Requiem for a Dream was because when they said Jared Leto was gonna play Joker, I was like, let me go watch something that this guy was in and see if he's gonna make it a good film. And Requiem for a Dream just happened to be one of them. That shit's crazy. Marlon Wayans is in that shit too.
Hmm.
That movie is wild. It's about I think VP you would like that movie. It's EJ, you'll like it too for different reasons. Like you'll like it for the reason I liked it because it's crazy as shit. It's Coney Island. It's gonna remind you of back in the day type shit.
I don't like Coney
VP,
Island.
you gonna like it for like the message and all of that shit. It's essentially basically it's showing you the different types of substance abuse and how it can cause someone who has an addictive personality to be caught out on it and all of that shit. They
Is
did it. It's
Davidson in it?
dark though. I'll tell you one thing, it is very, very dark. It's a
Is
fucking
Davidson
dark
in
ass
it?
film. Is Pete Davidson in it? I don't think so. I
I
don't
don't
remember.
understand America's obsession with Pete Davidson. And I know Kanye, we don't support him like that no more because he's been wilding. But you know what? Pete Davidson, I don't fuck with you either. You from Staten Island, you're one of the most basic motherfuckers ever. I don't even understand it. You know what I mean? And he's a Jets fan, shout out to him. But I don't fuck with Pete Davidson, yeah. I don't like him.
And TP asks who's directing it. It's being directed by Thomas Knight. He's the director who did Bumblebee, the Transformers joint in 2018. He also did Paranorman in 2012. I'm trying to see if anything that stands out.
Nothing else stands out.
Yeah, nothing else really stands out.
Oh, I might be a little excited for Camila Mendez now. I looked her up.
Yeah, the other movies he did don't really stand out to me except for
Cheetah.
Paranorman and Bumblebee.
She's Brazilian, EJ.
Mhm.
Nothing more
Eve
needs
is
to be
what,
said.
Dominican? What is
It don't
Eva
matter.
Mendez's nationality?
Brazilian gonna
Eva
win all the
Mendes.
time.
I think
Hmm.
Eva Mendez is
She's
think
some
she's
type of
Dominican.
Hispanic, but Brazilian gonna
yeah.
win every time.
I think she might be like Puerto Rican or Cuban or something like that.
She ain't
I don't
They
think she's
said she's
Mexican.
they said she's retired, yo.
Who,
who?
Eva Mendes?
Eva Mendes.
Oh,
Yeah, that's crazy. Wow.
oh,
She's
Eva Mendes is
She's
actually
50.
American, but her
She's 50.
background is
She's from Miami.
yeah. All right, all
oh,
right. Y'all start crazy right now. She alright too though.
Damn, she's
yeah.
50.
And Eva Mendes, she fits the build. Like she fit the build for that character in Training Day. Like she hit that shit on
Yeah.
the nose. Buenos dias,
If she's from
mamacita.
Miami. She's
She
from
looked like the
Miami. She
type.
gotta be Cuban, bro.
I
Yeah,
don't care where she.
I'm thinking she's Cuban,
She
Gotta
got
be.
it.
especially she's from Miami. She's Cuban or Puerto Rican.
Gotta be. She's
All right,
50. Oh shit.
y'all gotta stop.
I mean, y'all are pushing 50 though.
I'm not talking about her age, and I'm not pushing 50 fool. I'm 43.
Pushing 50.
No, I'm closer to 40 than 50, bitch.
It's true.
No, no, you're not.
Well, whatever. um, shit. All right, we talked about Benji's already. Yo,
You caught up on Love Is
Zelensky's a
Blind?
G. Oh, Love Is Blind. I did not watch the episodes that came out Friday.
I didn't either. So I've only seen whatever came out before Friday's drop.
EJ, I'm not even gonna ask you if you watch Love Is Blind.
I haven't watched it yet. I'm about to. I'm gonna get into it.
He not allowed to watch no white shows now that he got a black girlfriend.
I always have a black girlfriend. What do you mean?
That's true. Well, no, you be single a lot too.
I kind of agree with TP on Love Is Blind for this season. I will say I didn't enjoy the time in the pods like I have on previous seasons. I can't even say previous. I've only started watching in season 6. Season 6, the pods were amazing, and then after the pods was even more amazing. And then this time around, the pods were like super lame to me. And then outside the pods so far has been like kind of dull,
Sort of quiet.
except for like the last 2 episodes. Yeah, last 2 episodes we got like a little action with the Instagram thing, and then the I think her name is Lauren. I don't remember the guy's name, but their relationship with the whole pre-show stuff.
I think we about to get a little bit of drama. I hope we do. But why they always, the thing about Love Is Blind, they get me every season. They make this cookie cutter, beautiful, perfect black love a couple, and then it always turns out to be disaster. And hopefully this one doesn't. Like, but this one is like top notch. They are in love. They're perfect. Their families love each other. Like, this is.
Are you meeting the families?
Because they have 4 weeks. They do the show, and then once they come out of the pods, they go on the vacation, and then when they come back, it's 4 weeks to decide if they get married. So everything is like accelerated, meeting the families, all that kind of stuff like that.
That's right. We missing old girl that said she looked like
I don't
Chelsea Fox.
Yeah, not Chelsea
Yes,
Fox, Megan Fox. But yeah,
no, that's why I call Chelsea Fox. That's what this season's missing. You need a Chelsea Fox in order to bring the drama. You know what I'm saying?
Look, they don't even gotta be fat. They just need to have some fat. Something.
I haven't seen Randy in a couple of years, and that's or a few years. And he's a tall young man. I can see why he might say that because he's never been a small guy. But wow, Randy, wow. Okay. All right.
But old girl is bad. Who's the one we were talking about, VP? Her name is escaping me.
The one with the short guy.
The one that thought Homeboy was in the Christmas. The baddie we was talking about.
Oh yeah. That's not Lauren. That's
It's not Lauren.
It's not Sarah either.
Not Sarah.
Virginia?
It's not Virginia.
Virginia's the black chick.
Virginia, the black girl. VP loves her. VP loves Virginia. Virginia's bad for that was gonna sound bad. What I was about to say.
Yeah, chocolate girl. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Let's talk about it. Yeah.
It was gonna sound racist, and I didn't want it to sound that way.
Got him.
What I was gonna say is that
America, we got him.
I was about to say my preferred. I like my women like I like my coffee, light and sweet,
a little macchiato.
But Virginia, she's not chocolate at all. She's brown though.
Yeah, she's like me. She's mad light skin. Her one of her parents is white.
That's probably why I like her. Not because her parents white, because she's light skin. She alright though, but one of his parents is white too. I think wasn't his mom white?
His mom.
Yeah.
And so Virginia with a black dude.
Yeah,
sort of black. He played basketball, so he black.
You're red. You're red. You're red ball.
Nah, that's the light. That's just the light. It's the lighting. What's her name? Kelsey.
Taylor.
No, not
Taylor.
Taylor. That's the one. Taylor's the one. On this season, Taylor's the one.
Devin like Trump. Who's Devin?
That's the black dude who's with Virginia.
Oh, that shit ain't gonna last.
Oh yeah, that's not gonna work. It's not gonna work for
Yeah,
me, dog.
it's definitely a
It's
no
not
for
gonna
me,
work.
dog.
That's all right. He like him now. He not gonna like him when he got to pay for all the medications he on. Because he got all types of medication because he had surgeries and shit. Once he got to pay them fucking increased prices, he not gonna like Trump no more. That's gonna happen.
Well,
I
he might like it because of all the tax breaks he might get from the show money.
Taylor the one though.
The top
Yeah,
down
Taylor's
impact.
bad.
You got to watch it, EJ.
Yeah.
But I don't watch it for the pods, VP. I watch it for the afterlife. I like to see
Mm.
the drama. Like last season, I like seeing old girl's dirty ass apartment. Like I'm like, yo, that would have been the one that set me off. Like, yo, it's not gonna work.
My nigga was upset, yo. He
It,
was
Yeah,
it,
upset.
I'm like, it's not gonna
Yo,
work.
my man was upset. Yo,
And he left her too. They ended up not working out. Not for that reason, but yeah.
what made me mad about last season is the thing that men always have to go through in the breakup situations. Women, and I've said this on the pod before. Women can meet another woman, never known her for more than 2 minutes, and just because the fact that she's a woman, they automatically assume, oh no, she's not a scumbag. She can't do this. She can't do that. Men, we be like, yo, I don't really know, old boy. You know what I'm saying? He might be. You know what I'm saying? I reserve. You know what I'm saying?
Every
Women
man is a scumbag. Every
will
man is a
women
scumbag.
women will align with a woman, and just because she's a woman, most women, not all women, because I don't think either of y'all wives would do that. I think both of y'all wives are probably the opposite. But
You got
women,
mine fucked
women,
up. she
women
don't,
will. That's what I'm
she don't
saying.
like bitches. Oh, I
That's what
got
I'm
you.
saying.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Women will align with a woman and be like, "Oh, I trust her. I believe her because she's a woman." And I feel like that's what was happening on the stage last year. And it's like, yo, you don't see this person's fucked up.
Oh, you mean at the reunion?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah. At the
and
reunion, they
yeah,
fucking they was trying to eat
they
his
were
lunch, yo.
trying to
yeah.
railroad him.
And
But
he
I
reminded me of the
think,
type of he reminded me of the type of dude that you would be chilling with. Like when I was watching him, I was like, yo, do you remind me of the dudes in Baltimore? What's
yeah, yeah.
homeboy that drive the the BMW that gave us the ride that night?
Hmm,
He remind me of him. He drive the X5.
I was faded, so I'm not sure.
That's every night.
That's right
But no,
he
now.
I think part of the reason too that Love Is Blind is like struggling a little bit in the post pod portion of the show is that they're not living in their own cribs. The show got them
Mm,
apartments or whatever, so they
mm,
Oh
moved they
yeah, yeah.
moved together into an apartment building that the show got them.
right,
So
right.
it's like they're still in a bubble, kinda. You know what I'm saying? And I think that that's was kind of hurting it a little bit as well.
See, I got to go back and watch because I don't remember them mentioning anything about year or time. I think that this season was recorded, and I think this was a season that was shelved, and they brought it
Mm,
back because there's a lot of political conversation in it. And Netflix was like, "Yo, that's going to be a gold mine because of what's going on in politics right now," and they dropped it. I really
Mm.
feel like this is a old season because it came fast, yo. Pause. This one,
yeah,
like
there was no
out of nowhere.
setup. There was no build up. There was no nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh,
I didn't have a I didn't have a problem with the dude with the kids. Because from what he said, he
they
was
talked about it.
yeah,
but
they
they
talked
weren't his
about it.
kids. But those weren't
Yeah,
his kids. He just
right.
he was just a donor.
The donor,
Surrogate. Yeah,
Now
which
now the
that
question
part
is
of it
how
is
did you
why
donate?
right.
Like did
That
you
part of it
donate
is
or
why
did you donate?
I never understood why old girl got so like crazy about it at the time because I was like the way I took it was that he was a donor in terms of like in the lab but
Mhm.
maybe it was the other way around. And that's probably why she was so upset.
And they not together by the way anymore. She announced on the internet that they were breaking up.
Oh
And
wow.
that's why I
uh,
get to where they always have the perfect black couple, and it's just the one. They never have multiples. It's always
Hmm.
one black couple, and it's always the perfect one. And they decide to follow and send them to Mexico and stuff like that. It's like a DEI, and then it turns out to fail.
Oh, I didn't see the pictures. I just only heard the story.
oh yeah, he was with her taking pictures. But I mean, I kind of feel like so. I guess somehow maybe she found him, and so I guess they're implying
They was
all the
friends.
pictures they were friends. It wasn't, but I think he's stupid anyway. I mean, just go skeet and have kids. Like,
Or he should have just told her, like, yo, I got these kids on the way, or I got these kids out there
that
that I
exists.
donated for,
Facts.
and but I think and then eventually he did tell her, like, yo, I do. I think the problem also comes in with, like, it's one thing to donate and be like, yo, these are your kids. It's another thing to be like, yo, I'm gonna donate, but I still want to go see the kids. You know what I'm saying? And I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
that was one of
that's
the things
definitely
he said.
different. But that's difficult though. You know what I'm saying? Like to know that you have family of flesh out there, and to think it's one thing to think that you could just be cool with the existence of these people and no
And then it
connection.
happens.
You know what I mean? I don't know how my father did it, but you know what I mean? Like it's difficult.
Yeah. If I
Lots of
donated, I don't
alcohol.
think I can have I couldn't have a relationship with the kids. Because I feel like you would come over in your mindset, you're coming over to be a friend. But then once you're around, I think you're gonna have that
Instinct.
emotional attachment without even, you know what I mean? It's the same way we are with our own kids. You know what I'm saying? Like when they're
I
born, we
wouldn't.
love them immediately. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, that's why. That's
it's
why I
not like you
wouldn't
got to
donate.
build up to it.
That's why it's important to be true to yourself and know, like, I know what type of person I am. I'm not
Mhm.
donating. Like,
Right.
even if it's a baddie, I'm not donating. Even if I'm donating the other way, I'm not doing it, because I know that once the kid is born, that's still my kid, and I'm gonna want to know, what's going
Right.
on and all of that
And they
shit. Like,
and they look like you. They have the same
right.
mannerisms, and
Especially,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
especially if they come out looking like me, like mine already does. Forget
Yeah,
about it.
yeah.
Forget about it.
It's difficult. It's
Yeah,
difficult.
man.
But I mean, if you're going on that show to find love anyway, what the thing we're
You're
all
probably not
going
you're not spun too tight anyway, as it
Yeah.
is.
You're not a serious person.
exactly.
If you go on any show to find love, you're not serious. Like all those people, like when they go on the podcast and the reunion show and all these different
Pop the
interviews,
balloon.
that it's all capped to me because I just can't imagine, like, reality TV brings out the worst in people. So why would you want to put yourself in the worst situation to find a partner? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's not only about like the fact that it brings out the worst in that it brings out the worst in people, but also that it's staged. You know what I'm saying? These dates are staged. Like you see them like, oh, we're gonna go on a date and do such and such or whatever. And it's like
And they
you
tell you
probably
be
wouldn't have done
yourself.
right. You wouldn't have done this thing in your real life. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like they're like, oh, like I remember last season they went into that place where they made keys or something like that. And it's like, oh, we just gave each other a key to our hearts and all this kind of stuff because I love her so much or whatever. And it's like, you wasn't going to make no fucking keys on a date if you were
That's it
out
right
in the
there.
wild. You know what I'm saying?
That, yeah. That's the key right there, is they all are on there
Exactly.
to go viral, either get followers or what have
Yep.
you. What's the other one that we were watching? The where they get married and they choose not, either they choose they're gonna be married or they're not. It's another one that's on
Oh, the
Netflix that I watch.
ultimatum.
Ultimatum. That's another one that I feel like they all go
Never
on
watched
there.
that
No,
one.
no, not ultimatum, not ultimatum. I fuck with
Yeah.
ultimatum though. I fuck with
Uh,
no. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. The one with maybe it was Love Is Blind. No, it wasn't Love Is Blind.
I think you're talking about the one that Jessica from Love Is Blind went on after Love Is Blind.
What was the one with Homeboy that had the he said that he had the business where he went to the beach on the weekend and he had, jet skis and shit like that.
That's Love Is Blind. That was
Oh, okay.
season
Okay.
6 with the black
Okay.
dude with
Yeah,
with
yeah, yeah.
the thick black chick.
Yes. Yes. Okay. I wasn't sure if that was Love Is Blind or if it was something else. But
Yeah.
he for sure he for sure was on there just for followers, like
Yeah.
just to try and go viral. He didn't give a shit about none of that shit.
Yep.
well,
Like, you could tell from,
what is the show that they went to?
yeah,
Yeah,
Trey,
AD. What's the
Trey.
show that they
Trey and
went to
AD.
after that though? The
AD
show
thick as
after
hell,
that.
and AD ain't about it neither, because now she with a white dude.
Yeah,
Huh.
AD is full of shit. She was crazy, bad shit crazy anyway.
She
But the
was.
fact he left her at the altar was crazy though. Yeah, his
Yeah.
Yep.
dad
There
is
you.
tough.
Yeah. Remember EJ? I told you. I was like, oh, okay, I
And they
get
were
it.
they were they were dragging his
No,
dad.
his pops was,
Bad.
but his pops was he was a filth ball though.
He was
But he made no bones about it. He didn't try to hide it. He
nah. I
made
mean, listen. This what happens.
He basically told, yo, I slid off with your mom. I used to leave
Yo,
you in another
TP,
room. I was smashing.
TP. This commentary will not self-destruct, motherfucker. You gotta relax. You gotta relax.
Anything else on TV that's popping right now?
Nah, not for me. I haven't really been watching anything other
Those are
than that stuff.
those are my two, and of course the challenge. I watch the challenge and still fuck with that.
Oh, so the clip I wanted to ask you about this, Steve. The clip of the challenge where Tio and what's his name from Boston, CP,
CT.
CT. How did you feel about? Did you see that clip where
I
him and
didn't
Tio
see it.
going at it? You
I
didn't see
saw
that
all.
clip?
No, I saw all of the
Oh my gosh.
I saw all of the commentary around it on Twitter because I follow a bunch of them, but I didn't see that. I was like, yo, what are they talking about? What are they talking about? And they were going back and forth about it in these, on Twitter, and I'm like, I don't know what the hell they talking about. But I
Yeah,
did
so
not see the
there's
clip.
a
And
viral
CT
clip.
is my guy.
There's a viral clip of CT and Tio going at it, and CT is like, "Well, it's not my fault. You blew 70 million and you bankrupt, woo woo woo." And so Tio gets up like, "Yo, homeboy," you know what I'm saying? And CT is like, "You think you're not gonna intimidate me because you're bigger than me?" And his racist ass Boston accent and everything like that.
Yo,
And
don't be
Tio,
disrespecting CT, yo.
CT's a racist. I always said that from back in the 90s. He's from Boston.
CT,
I don't trust
you
him.
just ain't like that he punched Adam in the face.
No, I
Like
just think he could be
that was
racist.
when that's when he became my favorite. Like when
I,
he
I
he
just think he
he
could be racist. He's from Boston.
lit his ass right
Um,
on up.
but
Oh,
he
well,
was
everybody from Boston is racist.
every white person, yeah. But he was sitting there and he was like, talking to Tio, like, and it put things in perspective to me because he said it out of his mouth. He was like, "You're not gonna intimidate me because you're bigger than me." And I was like, "Well, damn, Tio," because I always thought CT was like a
And CT is
huge.
big.
I thought he was a huge, massive guy, but Tio's only like 6'1", 6'2". 230. So CT, I'm like, okay, he must be smaller than I thought. You know what I mean? So that was interesting to me.
I found it. I'm about to put it on here because I don't remember ever seeing it. TP says Severance. Severance, I heard is fire, but I just couldn't get
Yeah,
past
It's
I haven't
slow.
started it yet. I
episode
heard it's fire.
4.
It is
It was
fucking
I think it was
slow.
like 4, but I heard it's really, really good beyond that. It's just slow.
It's
Like
fucking
like you
slow.
said, EJ, every Apple show seems to be slow.
Slow. The Gorge
Uh,
was trash. The Gorge, that was trash. Don't even watch it. I mean,
the
absolute
Gorge.
dog shit. The Gorge, it's an Apple TV movie. It was absolute dog shit. Do not watch it. Absolute dog shit.
All right, let's see. Let's see what we got.
Notoriously puts his feet up on the seat in front of him on every single bus ride. Well, not tonight because CT's sitting in the back seat and he decides he's had it.
Hey, talk to your boss. Oh, my boss. Talk to your boss. Bro.
This the one you talking about, EJ?
No, I said versus Tio, like Terrell Owens.
Oh, that's old, nigga. That's old.
Bus rides are
Oh,
normal.
All
I
right.
don't know. Oh, there's some new shit that you about to play.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about Theo, which is the
Who's
dude
Theo?
from Theo is big black dude
Oh, I
also
remember Theo.
from London. From London,
I
yeah.
remember Theo. So play that. Did CT and Theo get it
I
shaken?
already closed it.
Did they get it shaken?
They said that was unaired. We'll have to look at it. We'll save it. But I rock with
I used
CT.
to like
And
CT.
I don't know how frequent you've watched it, but the big dude Fessy, big football playing ass, and
Mm.
he get his hair cut from the barber that sits next to my barber. So I was in the chair one day and he walks in the shop and I'm like, yo, this dude looks super familiar. Where do I know him from? Did I work with him? Is he from Connecticut? Where do I know this dude from? And then and I told my barber, I'm like, yo, Teddy, I know this dude from somewhere. You know, that's a dude from that stupid MTV show. And I was like, the challenge? Oh, that's Sig Fezzy. He is kind of big, but he a cornball. Like I heard his conversation. He a cornball. I play basketball. I play hoops. He corny though. He just talk corny. But yeah, challenge is my shit. Presumed innocent. I don't know. I've heard that was good. What is that? You know what it's about, EJ?
I've never
Yeah,
heard of him.
yeah. I forget what platform it's on. I didn't try to watch it yet, though. and then try to watch it.
Oh, it's on Apple. It's also on Apple. Oh yes, yes, yes. Gyllenhaal, right? Is that Jake Gyllenhaal that's in it?
Yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal. Yep. Shout out to
Yeah,
his
yeah,
sister
yeah.
Maggie. His sister Maggie. She's hot.
Maggie
I,
Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
Man, she. Whew,
I
oh
don't know
my
who that
God,
is.
yo.
I don't know
Maggie
who that is.
Gyllenhaal.
I must
You know
look it
who
up.
she is. You've seen her before. Like
I
she's
do
like,
know who that is. Them eyes, dog. That's all it is.
yeah, like
Smoker.
she was like super cute back in the 20s, and then like she aged horribly.
She did
She's like
age quickly.
40, and she looks like she's in her 60s or something. She, oh man,
Yeah, she aged like fine milk. But she got them eyes, dog. Her eyes
yeah,
are.
she does have nice eyes.
I finally saw the Jamie Foxx and what's her name movie on Netflix.
Oh, that's another one with the eyes. VP said he watched it,
That was a
didn't
good
you?
one.
With Cameron Diaz, the spy joint.
Cameron Diaz. There you go.
Yeah,
Yes,
that one. It was all right.
I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it yet.
it's a good
Was it
one.
good?
Yeah, I thought it was
It's
good.
it's all right.
She's another one that got nice eyes, but also aged pretty quickly.
No,
Yeah,
she aged. I think she aged pretty well because she's
I've
been
actually.
old. She's old. She's like
Yeah,
55.
Yeah, when she was in Charlie's Angels,
Did you
she was
say she
already like
like
in her mid
65?
late
Is that what
30s.
you just said?
No, I said she's
He
like
said
55.
55.
Oh, she's
Yeah,
52 now. Yeah, she's
yeah.
52.
In Charlie's Angels, she was already in her 30s. She just looked
Yeah,
young at the time,
right.
and that was 25
Maybe
years
maybe it's
ago.
because I be comparing these fine white women to like Salma Hayek and J Lo. They age very very gracefully.
Yeah,
The
I've never been a
the
fan of some.
gracefuliest.
Like people always thought she was so attractive. Like she's always just been okay to me, and her acting isn't
Who?
that good either. Cameron
Who?
Diaz.
It is.
Cameron
Oh
Diaz.
yeah, she just got nice eyes.
Yeah, I've
I
never
did
been a
not.
big fan.
I didn't see the fight. EJ, you said you watched it. I saw clips from it last night, and I know how it ended. I was waiting for it, and stupid me, I put the recliner up. Soon as I put the legs up on the recliner, you got about 7 minutes, yo. You better talk to me nice, or I'm gone, yo. And next thing I knew, it was 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I watched the fight. Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach. 135 pounders ended in a draw. I thought Lamont Roach did enough to win that fight. The unfortunate part is Tank is the cash cow. He has the belts. It's his stage. You know what I'm saying? So the judges put it as a draw. I think Lamont won that fight. Um, but either way, regardless of that, it's a draw. Now, the question is going to be, are they going to run it back? And are they going to run it back soon? And I think Tank was either unfocused during this fight or he hasn't really fought anyone. And the real test of the tail will come out in the second fight because Roach, he's going to have to prove that he belongs in that rematch. And Tank, from what we know, can finish the deal. But I don't know. I don't know that Tank, has just been fighting bums and Roach is a talented guy. It was a classic matchup between DC and Baltimore. Went down in Brooklyn, sold out arena, the biggest crowd that the Barclays ever had. It was a good bout. I liked it, but I thought Frank Roach did enough. Lamont Roach rather did enough to win. But and Tank,
I didn't watch it. VP, did you say you didn't see the fight? I'm sure, right?
Tank took a knee in this fight, which should have been scored as a knockdown.
Wasn't that like the last round? I did see that
It,
highlight.
it was the last few rounds that he took a knee. And then he tried to say, well, I just got my hair done and grease was dripping into my eyes.
He did say that. I
You
saw
know,
that.
and the Barclays crowd booed him for it. They
I
booed him
saw
for it.
I saw a few things like when I woke up and like I told you it was like 4:30 in the morning. Um
Yeah, I mean,
TP's
and TP, you're absolutely right. But again, the question then remains because the only other person he went the distance with, to my recollection, is Pitbull. And Pitbull is the only other champion that had a lot of experience. All the other guys Tank has fought thus far haven't been experienced boxers. Roach and Tank fought as amateurs. They've been boxers the same amount of time. And, Roach showed his ass out there last night. I think he won that fight.
I saw a lot of people saying that Roach should have won that fight, but then I also go back to so many other fights that we've seen. Notably, or probably the most notable one was the Tito Trinidad versus Oscar De La Hoya, where Tito definitely won that fight. But I think that's when people started to feel that whole, if you're gonna get the chip, like you gotta beat the champ. You're not just gonna come out here and make it to, make it the distance with the champ. You gotta beat the champ and take it. And from what I didn't see the fight, I saw highlights, a couple highlights, and then I saw the presser afterwards, and it didn't look like Tank got beat. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he lost in points and stuff and on the cards, but his face looked fine. Like, who's going to the club after? If I'm going to the club after and I'm the champ, then I won, in
No,
my opinion.
I'm gonna tell you real talk. I think this was Tank's biggest challenge to date, and I think I question whether or not you know Tank is just that good or he hasn't fought anybody with equal skill. And I think this is the first opponent that actually had enough ring knowledge and IQ
He fought Ryan
to have a
Garcia.
no, Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia has a great amateur career, but we also got to remember, right? Ryan Garcia had a hydration clause. So, to Ryan Garcia's credit, he's not a natural 135 guy. So, he had to drop about 20 pounds, and he
Yeah,
struggled to drop in weight. So, that was not good for him. Frank Roach is a guy who's a pedigree boxer from the same area as Tank. He don't fear Tank. None of that Baltimore shit bothers him. He from DC. He's like, yo, I'm knuckling up with you. And we fought as amateurs. So, you know what I'm saying? Frank Lamont Roach came into this thing. He was ready. And the fight before this, actually, with Gary Russell Jr., Gary Antoine Russell, that was another thing. So Tank, I really hope they have a rematch, but I like 135 right now because you got Gary Russell, you got can't think of his West, you got Davis, you got Gary Russell, you got a couple of guys, you got Shakur Stevenson, you got some guys in this division that could really present a problem for Tank, but he was talking about retirement and shit. So
you
I
don't
don't
you
know.
don't you don't think Gamboa was a formidable opponent for Tank?
Nah, no, no. Gamboa was a good journeyman who's had a good career. He don't have a chin, and Gamboa has always traditionally been out of shape. Roach seemed to be disciplined and ready for that action. And to TP's point, he fought a smarter fight, and he was much more skilled. He beat Tank to the punch every time.
He had to, though, because I don't think he's fast enough for Tank. Tank is fast, yo.
No, he is fast, Steve. He is fast. He's fast. He was fast. Roach is a great boxer, man. He's I'm telling you, there's certain places on the map that you're just gonna get great boxers. Brooklyn, Philly, Baltimore, DC, Miami. Roach is from that pedigree of DC boxing. He knows what he's doing, bro. He surprised me.
Look, if I'm the champion, right? If I'm the champion and I don't look like I got touched in my face and we went 12, you're gonna have to do a lot more than that for the judges to win. Now, the everyday casual watcher, the boxer, boxing fan like us, we're gonna feel that. We're gonna see it, and we're gonna be. It's easy to stand on the outside looking in and say, "Yo, he should have won that," or he did win that. But from a judge's standpoint, like, we already know that's how they look at it. If I'm giving you the champion, if I'm giving you a belt, you got to take this belt. They're not giving you the belt, and I think, well, at least two of the judges knew that. The other
Yeah,
one,
I mean,
Tank
it,
won.
it, it's Tank's show, and he's a draw, so I get it. But even with him taking a knee, I thought that should have been scored.
But I
That
think this is also good for boxing, right? This is, from what everyone said, it was a good fight. These are good
great for
names,
boxing.
and now when you see a guy who's almost been untouchable, at least that's what they want us to believe, that Gervonta is untouchable. you got a guy that came in and touched him, you might be able to build around these two boxers. Like you said, you might get a second match, and that may be a trilogy out of it, and that's going to help boxing try and get back to where it's at, because it's losing. Like UFC, these people like watching these white boys go in the backyard and beat each other up and try to kill each other more than they like watching boxing and tactical fighting, in my opinion. So this could be good for boxing, I think. I would like the boxing match I would like to see is Trump versus Zelensky, or even Vance. Vance a little bit younger, so Trump probably couldn't stand in the ring for that fight very long. His legs will give out other parts of his body. But I would like to see that boxing match. Zelensky came into the Oval Office and basically showed that he's not coward. He's not afraid of these guys. It doesn't matter what you're bringing to the table. It doesn't matter what was given to me by the United States. You pieces of shit are not going to force me into respecting you. You're going to force me to thank you. And you already said that you have no plans of giving me anything unless I give you something back. So why the fuck am I thanking you? Like, Zelensky went in there and he played his G card, yo. And I respect.
Not only that part though, right? As an American, and you know how I felt about Ukraine and spending and the aid, and for me, I'm with the forefathers, the racist forefathers of this country. Leave other people to do what they do, but I understand our military position. But not only that piece, Steve, it's embarrassing to see our leaders of this nation conduct themselves to a
Mhm.
nation that way, number one, publicly. Number two, ignore the facts that Russia, in fact, invaded Ukraine. And it's disgusting by and large. This is what we paid for, right? This is what the people voted for, right? It was nasty. Um, and shout out to Zelensky. Zelensky should have just punched the motherfucker in the face. I would have been good with that.
But that would have been bad for him. He would have been in jail, maybe worse. But I agree with you. He do need a swift punch in the face.
Yeah, it's this shit is terrible, man. That people think that this kind of behavior is cool, and I think that it's stuff like this is why Trump got elected, right? Because people view politics as entertainment now. So you have people who say, I'm going to vote for this guy because, I think he's funny. Like I've seen that a lot on social media. You know what I mean? I vote for him because he said, he says crazy shit, yo. Like, you don't really see that in politics. And it's like, okay, he says crazy shit, but then he's going to take away your health insurance. So like, we got to keep things in perspective. You know what I'm saying? But this whole meeting with Zelensky, it was a setup from the beginning. The backstory of this meeting is basically Trump and the administration lured Zelensky over here by making him think that we were going to do some kind of deal where it was going to be mineral rights for security assistance. So they were going to sign an agreement with us that let us get access to some of their rare earth minerals. And we were going to continue providing them with security assistance. And when Zelensky gets here, there's no security assistance in the deal. It's just we get the mineral rights and you get nothing. And he was like, you got me fucked up. You know what I'm saying? And that's where this whole thing, breaks down or whatever. And the largest portion of those mineral rights is lithium. And for folks who are not connecting the dots, when I said that, lithium goes into batteries, and the type of batteries that go into electric vehicles like Tesla's, the company that Elon Musk runs, who's basically in charge of the government now. This whole shit is just corrupt as fuck, yo. I say this often in the chat and on pod, is that, I let me do my preamble. I'm a liberal Democrat, right? So I have a point of view. I'm biased, you know what I mean? So take what I say with a grain of salt, whatever, you do you, right? But a lot of shit that you hear from Republicans is projection. They tell you that the government is corrupt because they're doing the corrupt shit. You know what I mean? They're telling you, you know, you can't trust anything these people say because they're just trying to put your tax dollars in their pockets, and it's what they're doing. You know what I mean? This shit is disgusting, man. It's disgusting to see the president and the vice president behave like this on national TV. Yo.
Yeah. And you know, look, I get it. You mentioned it. You said that it's entertainment, it's reality show, and that's what they made it to be, right? Like you don't have to have the press in that meeting. You don't have to have the press in that meeting with cameras ready to put videos out right away, right? And because they were there, that's why Trump and Vance felt like they had to buck. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like you could have talked to this guy like a fucking human and been like, look, America has done a lot for you. I don't agree with what we've done for you, but I'm willing to continue, or I'm not willing to, whatever it is, right? Have that conversation. But to, oh, you're not in the position, you don't have the cards. Nigga, who is you talking to? Like I've
Right.
been in conversations like that are not about countries. So imagine now when you have a country, we've talked about it for the last X years, that the Ukrainians are so prideful of their country that they've been able to fight off Russia, that they got people that are running to the front line to say, yo, you're not taking our land, knowing what, you know, the potential outcome can be. Like you got this most prideful guy out here and you trying to spit on his face and in public on the news. Get the fuck out of here, dog.
And Steve, the media is normally in these meetings, right? But the way it typically works is Zelensky gets to the Oval Office, they bring in the media, take a couple pictures. Usually the president will say, you know, hey, I appreciate President Zelensky for coming over. We have a great deal, a great many things that we need to discuss that's going to be beneficial for both our countries. And I'm hoping that we can come to some kind of agreement and get some of these finer points worked out. But I appreciate him coming over. Zelensky will then talk and say, I appreciate the president for inviting me over. And we definitely do have a lot of things to discuss. And, you know, I think if we can get something worked out, it'd be beneficial for both our countries. They'll shake hands. The press snaps the pictures of the shaking hands, and then they get kicked out. They start yelling out questions. Every now and then, the president may answer one of them, but for the most part, they just sit there until the press gets removed from the room, and then they have the meeting. Afterwards, you may hear, man, you know, sources say that things got hot in that Oval Office meeting. And then when they're asked about it, they'll say, well, look, you know, he's advocating for his people. I'm advocating for our people. You know, we care. We're passionate folks or whatever. We care about our people. So sometimes things do get a little bit tense. But at the end of the day, we're allies. We trust each other, and we're trying to do the best thing for our countries. You know, you hear shit like that, and then they move on. But for Trump, it can't be that way because everything has to be a reality. Everything has to be a show. You know what I mean? And so they invite the press in. He takes a bunch of questions. Of course, the press are going to ask some of these hard questions about, hey, well, you said such and such on your knockoff Twitter website. And then Trump is going to say whatever. Now JD Vance jumps in because he feels like I have to make sure I stay in Trump's light. I don't want him to send the mob to kill me like he did Mike Pence. So now I got to step in for him and start talking my shit or whatever to show Trump, anytime you need, I'll get on my knees and lick your ass. You know what I mean? And so then he starts popping off or whatever. And that's essentially what you're seeing there. It's all performative reality show bullshit.
Yeah. It's, but you know what? You said the people voted for this guy, and this is what they voted for.
Mm-hmm.
They voted for this. They voted for, they didn't vote for, like, they didn't care about the reality of what the outcome was or what the president was or wasn't going to do. They voted for this guy so that he would treat people like shit. They wanted what they saw in that meeting, and that fueled them. That fueled, oh, that making America first, you know, America first attitude. We need more of that. The fuck? What are we talking about? Like, what is America losing, right, by treating this guy human? I'm not saying, I mean, I agree with you, EJ. I'm one that feels that's a lot of money that we have sent over, or equals a lot of money in whatever we've sent, whether it's, you know, for them to fight the war, whatever that looks like, right? Weapons and so on. It's a lot that could have been used here. When I leave my house every day and I go out to the corner and I see 3 or 4 homeless people standing there, that makes me think that's money that could have been spent here better. When I hear about kids that are struggling, kids that are not getting, not eating right, that makes me feel like that's money that should have been spent here or could have been spent here better. And now we're saying, oh, we were doing so much, and now that the new administration is trying to take it away, well, that extra money that was sent over there potentially could have been spent here. So I'm a little bit on the fence on both sides of that conversation when it comes to it, but I'm not on the fence with treating the motherfucker like a human when he walks into your office. He's still the president of a nation representing a whole group of people, and you're basically trying to make him look like he's some piece of shit.
Let me say something.
For the record, I've always felt the way that I felt about Ukraine. Number one, they don't care about black people. They didn't care about any black citizens that they had. For the record, this is a part of Eastern Europe that was once a part of the USSR and all of these things. And when you go back to the history of Russia and how that whole thing came to play. I mean, for me as an American, as a Black American, let them go historically to do back to what they used to do. I'm cool. But again, to everyone's point here, you represent the United States. We're the world power. We're supposed to be a standard. We're supposed to have some decorum. We're supposed to have some professionalism. We're supposed to have some truth, some whatever you want to say. And I'm never going to be for American lives being at the expense of any other country, but at least act right. You know what I mean? And it was just nasty. And when you said this is who they vote for, the thing that bothers me the most, and this is where I'll conclude about anything, the thing that bothers me the most is the people that voted for Joe that couldn't vote for Kamala this time. And so the question that I continue to have for Americans are, okay, if you're a white male, maybe Jewish, consider yourself somewhat liberal, and you voted for Joe, but then vote for Kamala, what does that say about you? White women, this is two times in American elections. We had the feminist movement. We're talking about women breaking the glass ceiling, women changing things. Women are capable. Women can do it. White women, once again, you not only didn't vote for your brother and your sister in ethnicity who has experience, etc., etc. You now have a black woman that has experience as vice president that can advance forward that you voted for to be vice president. But when it turned around for her to be president, you didn't vote for her. So for me, I have a problem with those group of people. And what was it, 20 million people, VP maybe, that voted for Joe that didn't vote for Kamala?
No, it's like
Am I
10, like
exaggerating?
between eight to 10.
8 to 10 million people, 8 to 10 million Americans. I need an explanation. How is it you voted for Joe and Kamala then, but you didn't vote for Kamala now? I need to know where you stand because we talk about the hillbillies and all these other crazy people that we know that voted to spite their face. We at least know where they stand. I want to know who these 8 to 10 million people are that voted this way one time and couldn't vote for Kamala this time. And this is you 8 million people. This is exactly what you asked for.
Yeah. I mean, to that point, I mean, every election we see more and more people vote just because the population of the country grows. And Trump got roughly, I think it was 74 million votes, something like that in 2020, and Biden got 81 million. And then this time around, Trump got about 3 million more votes, somewhere 76, 70 million, somewhere around there. And Kamala got like 72 million votes, 73 million, something like that. So we see the numbers actually go down on the Democratic side, that's something, and it's not like they went down because there was another, like a third candidate in there. I mean, I know there are other people on the ballot, but it's not like a big time candidate like a Ross Perot or something like that was actually taking, huge chunks of the vote. What I would say to what you guys said in terms of Ukraine, like, not even arguing it from the strategic point of why we assisted Ukraine. Let's put that aside for the moment. But the countries do things like this just because of what it does for us here at home, right? So you look at a Ukraine, and they have large minerals all over the country. We want access to those minerals, and so we do stuff like we do to say, hey, yeah, you're going to be shipping minerals all around the world, but because of this help we gave you, you make sure that we're first in line. They say, okay, we give aid to countries, or all over South Africa, humanitarian and otherwise, because the stuff that comes out of there, we get access to it first before it goes to other places or whatever. So it's not like we just give aid because we're super generous and it's like, screw our own people. Let's make sure people around the world are good and the rest of our citizens can just, eat a dick or whatever. You know what I mean? We are doing this stuff strategically. And then at the same time, when we're pulling that money back, we're not giving aid to Ukraine or South Africa or any other country for that matter, since we've shut down things like USAID and other international programs, right? We're not giving these things away. First is the money's being wasted, right? So you look at these food programs, for example, food that goes to places in Africa for people who are malnutrition, right? These people in those countries, their digestive systems are so weak that they can't digest food. So the food that we get them, not only do we buy it, we have to do stuff to it to make it pre-digested. So that way when they eat it, they can handle it because their system can't handle undigested food, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we bought it, we processed it to pre-digest it, and now it's rotting in warehouses in Georgia and in New Jersey, right? That's already happened. So that's wasteful. But then on top of that, all the money that we're pulling back, we're going to turn around. We're not giving it to Americans. Well, I guess we are, but we're giving it to the Elon Musk of the world, to the Jeff Bezos and the Mark Zuckerbergs in the form of $4.5 trillion in tax cuts. You see what I'm saying? So it's not like they said, let's pull that money back from Ukraine and feed those people that Steve talk about that you see on the street, or some kid in the projects or whatever, free lunch program for students in Baltimore or Orlando or LA or whatever. They said, we got to pull that money back to make sure that Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, and all these other mega rich Americans can be richer.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, you brought up something.
EJ, real quick,
Go
real quick, and you can have it. Did you tell VP that minerals don't pay student loans?
Oh my God.
Joseph Biden, you still on the clock for our loan. But the Friday the 28th was the self-proclaimed national blackout, and I got a lot of text messages about not buying into national or big chain things and things like that, which I thought was dope, right? I don't really shop at big places anyway. I go to local things. Steve, I go to all local bars, restaurants, things of that nature. I don't buy too many clothes. Um, but I kind of want the American people, or the people that subscribe to this National Blackout Day. That's one day. But what if we all said we're not going to be on Facebook, X, or Instagram anymore at all? Do we have enough discipline to really be real and say, you know what? We really want to hit
No.
these people. We really want to hit these people in their pockets. I don't own an X account. The only X account that I'm attached to is the pod. Uh, Facebook, I'm on. It's connectivity. And IG, I love IG. I love my algorithms on IG and all the videos that pop up when I'm not even asking for them.
What kind of videos?
Breastfeeding.
Well, I love to see the natural. I love to see the natural organization of life and giving. Um, but again, if we really want to make some changes, some impact as a people, can we get off these social media platforms and
No.
just straight delete your accounts? Delete your
Nope.
account. And this is why I always say, as a people, we're fickle, we're full of shit, and this is why things will never really change. Because if we can't inconvenience ourselves, and we can't survive that real inconvenience of ourselves as Americans, then it's never going to change.
We can't,
I
because for the same reason that we see people wishing happy birthday to Will Smith but don't say happy birthday to you. People that'll wish happy birthday to Beyonce but won't wish happy birthday to you. People that'll go out and spend money to go to those concerts or to watch a broadcast of these people but won't for free watch and pay attention to you and I. That's why, because they're being taught and trained, and it's always been that way, and they do not have the discipline to change and go somewhere else. And even if we came up and people say, oh, well, we don't have it because we don't have our own platforms. Even if we built our platform, they're not coming to that platform because they want to stick to the same platform that they're on because of FOMO. That's the problem.
Yeah. And I agree with what both of y'all said. One, with EJ, when people talked about the national back out, my wife is who sent it to me. I posted in the group chat because she asked me to or whatever. But I don't even think that those things are beneficial. And the reason why is that, people have to understand the reason that the bus boycotts worked in the 60s and 70s is because it was long and sustained. People said, I'd rather walk and sweat than catch the bus for weeks and months. And that basically showed the power of the black dollar just on the bus system. You know what I'm saying? And it helped to make change, right? Doing this thing for one day, okay, these folks didn't make money this one day, but then you're gonna go back and shop there on Saturday and on all the days following. So to me, it just doesn't make sense unless it's gonna be something that's long and sustained. If you say, I'm no longer shopping at Walmart for my groceries when I need groceries, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go to my local Caribbean store. They sell all the stuff that I would get at Walmart, and they sell some other stuff that I probably wouldn't get there anyway. You know what I'm saying? And you do that, you're supporting a business that's owned by folks of color. Maybe you shop at one of them Indian grocery stores or something like that, where you're not supporting, Walmart or Publix or whoever. You know what I'm saying? Clothes. I don't know really. I don't really shop for clothes, so I don't know about small.
Target,
I'm pretty sure they got
Target,
small clothing
whatever.
places though. Yeah, you don't got to shop at
Yeah.
Target. You don't got to shop at Walmart. You don't got to shop at
But
Macy's
even
or
to your
whatever.
point, VP, this administration has shown us that they don't give a shit about a day of economy. They've already tanked the economy. So
Yeah,
how what are you saying? They don't care about that. So
yeah,
the whole strategy to me was flawed because this administration has already admitted to us we don't care about the GDP. We're good. We're gonna do what we're gonna do anyway. If you
hmm
really want to fuck with Musk, you want to fuck with Zuckerberg, you want to fuck with whoever else, get off IG, get off Instagram, get off X, and completely end it. Let's see how they fare then.
Yeah, it has to be, to VP's point, it has to be long term and targeted, no pun intended, because when you say everyone, that's one thing. But when you say Target, I'm going to give you an example. Target sunset their DEI on January 24th. They peaked on January 27th at 142, their stocks. Their stocks right now are at 124.24. They've been on a freeze and a down spiral ever since they started that DEI thing. And that's because people chose and specifically said, I'm not fucking with Target right now. Target is a major brand. Last year in February, when you walked into Target in the women's section, there was a huge, at least here in Florida, I'm gonna say here in Florida, Orlando, there was a huge section of Black history shirts, books, everything you could think of, records. They had old school records. I got my mom an old school record from there, a vinyl record that was I forget who it was. It was like Smokey Robinson or somebody, but somebody Black. This year for Black History, they had this one little stand, same exact store, even though they came out and said, oh, we're still going to do what's right for our communities. We're going to do it based on the community, but we just don't feel like we need to label it as DEI anymore. You walked in there and there was this one stand and it had maybe 3 different shirts to choose from on it. One little book, a little calendar, like some leftover shit that you would see at fucking Ross or some shit, and no type of setup. And I think ever since then, you've seen people turn to and say, look, I'm not fucking with Target. I've gone to Target and I go to Target for one thing specifically, and it's these little cars that my kid loves, and you can't get them anywhere else. It's either Target or online at Target, or you pay a 20-30% markup on eBay for somebody that's reselling them. But that's the only thing that I've gone to Target for ever since. And when I do go in there to pick that shit up, it's dead. Like,
yeah,
with our people, is not as many of us
yeah.
in there as it used to be. So when you
And the
target it,
thing
again,
is,
no pun intended, or do it long term, there's impacts.
right, and the thing is like, the whole getting rid of DEI thing, you're trying to erase people of color or whatever. It's the thing that I've said when we've talked in the past about like gay rights and stuff. It's you're trying to erase people and make it seem like they don't exist, they don't belong, or whatever. We see that with them telling these companies they have to purge their DEI programs. Somebody posted in the chat this week about I want to say it was Comcast, one of the broadcasting networks, that got a letter from the FCC telling them they haven't got rid of their DEI programs fast enough. This is supposed to be the free press, that the government is telling them they got to get rid of their DEI programs or whatever. Verizon, there you go. And at the end of the day, these folks are the people who tell you that they're about limited small government, right? Government not intruding on your lives. You always see them with the yellow "Don't tread on me" flags or whatever. And yet they're going down into individual companies telling them how the company needs to be ran. And it's why I always tell people that when you hear this stuff from these Republicans, it's complete BS. I heard somebody say this years ago, and I continue to say it all the time because it is absolutely true. Watch what they do, not what they say. You know what I mean? Because these folks are telling you, I'm for small limited government, but also I'm for the government getting down into individual business, telling them exactly how the company needs to run, exactly what kind of programs they should run, exactly the kind of people that they should hire or whatever. But government also needs to be small. You know what I mean? Like that shit, those two things can't coexist. You know what I'm saying? And these folks, for at least for our community, right, need to use their dollars and use them more wisely and not shop at these places to hurt them. The Supreme Court said in the 2010 Citizens United case, money is speech. So when they talked about campaign donations, so use your money as speech to say, I'm not shopping at these places. They don't deserve my dollars because they don't think that me and people who look like me belong here. So, screw them.
Yeah. It's an administration of bullying, and we saw that on TV this week. We saw how the one thing I will say is that he didn't treat the Prime Minister of the UK like that.
Mm-hmm.
So clearly, if you have a little bit of power, he's only going to bully around who he can bully around, and we're seeing that. And it's the same thing he did with Verizon. He's basically saying, "Look, you don't sunset DEI like we said, and we're going to not give you any more government contracts. Like the expansion to different areas, you're going to lose some of that. Like, and they're just bullying people into surrender in this, and for the next 4 years, that's what we're going to continue to see. It's very unfortunate to the companies, and it's even more unfortunate to the country and to the people that trusted him, that didn't actually think it would go this way. I do feel like there are a handful. I don't think there's a lot, but I do think there's a handful that didn't expect that it would be this bad. And a lot of them you see coming out and saying, "Oh, I was impacted, blah, 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 and I didn't expect it." So,
right. But I mean, if you think about the thing with the UK, so for me, I view everything that Trump does in two different lanes. And sometimes those lanes intersect, right? Everything Trump does is either because of racism or because of his own personal gain, right? Now, the Prime Minister of the UK comes over, America's longest ally, whatever, and the Prime Minister of the UK right now, the Liberals have control in UK. So it's not even like this guy is on the conservative side, so Trump is like we're of like mind, so I'm gonna treat him nice. Like Justin Trudeau is a liberal, and you see him in Canada shitting on Canada all the time, right?
mm-hmm.
What's different about the UK, I don't think it's about power dynamics. I think it's personal interest, right? Trump has his golf course in Scotland, right? And so I don't want to piss off the prime minister, and then he does some kind of shit that impacts my pocket by doing something that fucks with my golf course. You see what I'm saying? So that's all that shit was to me when you talk about the way that he treated Zelensky versus the way that he treated the prime minister of the UK. I to me, like I said, I look at everything he does as either being racist or a grift, personal grift. And in that relationship, to me, it's a grifting.
Yeah. It's gonna be a long 4 years. What do you expect for the March 4th unofficial, official, or official, unofficial State of the Union that's going to be happening Tuesday?
I mean, I think it's going to be more the same. He comes in there, bunch of lies. Republicans cheering for everything he says. Democrats sitting on their hands. We see that all the time, regardless.
Do you think any of the Democrats have the fucking balls to actually go in there and say something like
no?
Like when Biden walked in that day and fucking Marjorie Taylor Greene had the "Let's Go Brandon" hat on. Like
Mm-mm.
these are like I need a Democrat to nut up, yo.
I
need a
don't think so.
Democrat to get in
They're
there.
gonna try to show some decorum, and and like this is the part of the thing that always kind of gets me, is because for me, I want the decorum, you know what I mean? But at the same time, like things are crazy right now, and I feel like somebody needs to stand up and be like, yo, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So it's tough, but I think they're gonna go in and lean more on the decorum side, where it's like, where they're not gonna be yelling out shit, yelling out stuff like you see the Republicans do on during Biden, during Obama, and stuff like that. And I also think that even though I am for the decorum, that's part of what makes them not look good. This thing is on national TV, right? And so he'll come out and say something like, members of the squad, they want to do, blue, 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 blue. And then the camera will cut to like AOC or Rashida Tlaib or one of them like that. And you'll see them sitting there kind of just shaking their head or whatever. But he has the mic. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, at that point, you would feel like, I feel like somebody should stand up and be like, blah, 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 blah. But, I don't see it happening, because they're going to try to exercise some decorum, and maybe afterwards be like, oh, the president came here and showed his ass, blah, 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 but who's still watching at 11 o'clock at night, at that point?
Right. Yeah. It's I need somebody to grow some balls and say something. Like, it's the ultimate disrespect. We saw Obama laughing and kikiing with this dude, and then Zelensky comes in and he's like, no, that's Obama money that you got. That's Obama. What Obama sent you, which I don't agree with. Obama gave you this and I gave you this. Like, dog, this dude is shitting on you. And we don't got to revisit it, but Obama got to grow the fuck up. He got to understand that this dude is a piece of shit, and all of them, like, they all need to understand, like, don't just tell me he's a piece of shit when it's political time, when it's time to get my votes. I need you to be out there and show some fucking balls. Otherwise,
right. I had the same response, to the whole Obama keying with him at Jimmy Carter's funeral. I thought it was so, like, you spend all this time telling us this guy is, a Nazi and he's an authoritarian, he's bad, blah, 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 blah. And then y'all just, keying like, oh, it's just politics. We say stuff to get votes, but now it's all good now. And I did not like that. I didn't like that at all. You're telling people the country's in danger, and then you're sitting there laughing and joking with the danger.
Right.
That makes no sense to me.
Whole time your wife ain't even show up for that reason.
Right. Exactly. And then even with Biden, right? I get it that, for the first time since the Civil War, we didn't have a peaceful transfer of power or whatever, right? Okay, fine. So you want to do all the things right. You invite Trump to the White House to do the little photo of acknowledging he won the election, blah, 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 blah. You commit to peaceful transfer of power, smooth. You're going to do everything you can to make sure, it's good. But at the same time, you're still in charge of the country, and you're supposed to protect it, right? And so here you have Trump saying, yeah, I'm going to bring people in without even doing FBI background checks. I'm going to bring people in who are going to have access to America's most classified information, and we're not even going to do a background check on them. You, Biden, these people are coming in because the new administration, they send the names over to the outgoing administration to get those folks set up with things like email accounts and briefings and those kind of things, so they can hit the ground running once they take over on January 20th, right? And so you, Biden, could have came out and said, we're going to do everything that we can to ensure the transition is smooth, that it goes as good as possible or whatever. But we're not briefing any of these people. We're not giving them any office space, and we're not giving them any type of information that's classified until they go through an FBI background check.
Right.
And if they don't want to do it and they're still coming in, you, Biden, can say, you're still in charge. I'm ordering the FBI to do background checks on blue, 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 blue. The FBI don't need these people's cooperation to background check them. They have all kind of tools to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, but instead, you just keying and shit, making it seem like it's all good. And I just think that's foul to like I said, to tell people the country's in danger, and then you being chummy with the danger.
Yeah. Yeah. Because the country's in danger, but they really aren't. That's the reality of it. The country is in danger. we as American people are in danger, but they are fine. From a monetary standpoint, they don't have to worry about the danger that lurks.
Right.
So
Monetary, even from a security standpoint, Obama is going to be
security.
protected from the Secret Service the rest of his life. So is Biden, and the money that's flown. The Obamas have made a shit ton of money. Fine, whatever. I don't like it in terms of just because of my politics or whatever, but it is what it is or whatever. Biden, I don't think he will make as much money just because he's so old. It's not like people want to hear him speak or whatever. So I don't think he's going to get a lot of paid speaking. He'll write a book, people will buy it, but they're going to be good, and people are left holding this shit sandwich or whatever, trying to hold it together. And I said this after the election, and I continue to believe it. I see a lot of people in my own social media diet who are checked out, who are like, I'm not doing shit, I'm not donating any money, I'm not showing up to any protests, I'm not doing anything, and I hope those same people who say I'm not doing anything will at least show up to vote in 22, because if they don't, this shit is gonna get worse. My brother is somebody who doesn't really follow politics like that, and post this new Trump administration has really got him. I wouldn't call it locked in. He's not where I'm at, like following politics, but he is seeing a lot more than he used to. And he's like, yo, man, like, what the fuck? He was like, man, as bad as this shit is, I wouldn't be surprised if Democrats win the next 3 elections. And I was like, they won't. I was like, these folks, Americans are fickle. You know what I'm saying? People saw the chaos the first time with Trump. They saw how bad COVID was. They lost their friends, their family members, their coworkers. Some of them lost their jobs during COVID. Right, all the social distancing creating anxiety and whatever kind of mental health issues that created for people during the pandemic. They saw all of that and then said, yeah, we need that back. I need that again. And then this time it's only gonna get worse because the Congress won't check them, the courts probably won't check them, and it's not like he has the fear of needing to get elected again. Because if he decides that he's not going to be a dictator, like some of us believe, myself included, he can't run again. And then even if he does anything illegal, the courts have said he damn near can't even be prosecuted. You know what I mean? So like, what is there to keep him in check?
Yep. Death. That's it. All right. So that's enough. That's enough fun for me for a day. I don't think there's anything major to that we missed. Next week we'll be caught up on Love is Blind and of course Paradise, so we'll get right back to that. Probably not Kanan. So
do you know if it's 10 episodes, Paradise?
10. Yeah, they said first season's supposed to be 10, and then I think it was renewed. I know it was renewed for next season. They posted on their
They're probably
Instagram.
Gonna go 10. It seems like since Game of Thrones did the 10 model, most shows are 12, 13 for like these premium cable kind of shows, 12, 13 episodes. And then Game of Thrones did 10. And their whole thing with 10 was like, oh, we didn't know how the first season was going to go. So we did 10 and it was supposed to go to 12. And they were like, no, we like the 10 model. And then it seems like everybody does that now with the 10 episodes. Yeah. Even whatchamacallit, Nobody Wants This. It was only 10. It's a 30-minute show on Netflix.
Yeah. You figure, I guess 10 is probably the sweet spot, probably from a rating standpoint. When you get to 12, you probably got to put more filler in. Maybe you have those dead episodes and stuff like that. So
keep the show a little tighter. You can focus on the main characters and not have to, this character you met in season 2 that one time at the club now gets a whole episode with backstory, and you don't got to do that kind of stuff when you keep the episodes tighter.
And from a cost standpoint, right? You're filming 10, you're 2 less episodes or 3 less, depending how many, right? You're saving. Those are cost savings in general. And if the ratings are up, then you're in a great spot. So I'm excited though for these next ones. This next episode better be really good because this last one got me on the train. Like I love that shit. That was a great episode.
That kind of stuff, like, it gets me too, because it's like, I'm glad it was episode 7 and not like because that episode, like the content that they gave us, that could have been a finale. You know what I'm saying? And then like when we have episodes like I told you, Succession, like the finale in season 3, I was like, oh my god, yo, like I gotta wait a year for it to come back. Like, what the fuck?
Right.
Like, that shit was
Dog,
so dope.
That could have been a second episode. That episode could have been number 2 after we learned where they were. They could have easily went straight into that and been like, yo, check this out. You know what I mean? So that was a well done episode. And I think it was well placed. I think it was in a good spot. Takes your mind a little bit off of, the daughter taking the joint. And then I think now next episode we learn a little bit more about where that's gonna go, because obviously she told him, like, yo.
The one thing I will say real quick is I think writers of shows need to figure out a better way to get like for plot devices to happen, in like not using stupidity, right? And my point in that is that the daughter, your dad, who is a Secret Service agent, right, takes you and your brother, squirrel you guys away, tell you don't leave from here until I come get you. You know what I'm saying? So he's basically letting you know you're in danger, and you're like, nah, I gotta go see what's up with my boyfriend. You know, I rather wish if they got the daughter, they just end up like finding her somehow and taking her, versus it just being a stupidity thing, because it just feels like, I just can't imagine a real person being that stupid. And I get, for TV you have to suspend disbelief. You know what I'm saying? So there aren't people who can fly. When I watch Superman or whatever. But at the same time, it's like, just like the wife. When he's telling her, you need to get to this Air Force base, go this way, don't take any highways. There's a plane waiting for you. Boop, 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 boop. And then she's like, it's like, yo, have you not been married to the dude? You can't tell, like, when your spouse is like, the bullshit is gone, I'm being serious.
Not only that, like, you're seeing what's happening. Like, you've seen what's happening and what's coming. And I call you and I have a direct connect to the person, probably the most powerful person in the world. And you're like, but it's busy. I don't know where I'll get a car. Bitch, you better find a way.
Exactly. I just called you, and all the stuff that you said, I'm connected to the most powerful people. I call you and say, hey, leave the airport, take Highway 6, get on 30, boop, 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 and don't take any, like, come on, dog. Like, that kind of stuff to me just don't seem believable.
And I have to assume they've had that conversation before, because he told her, repeat it back to me, and she did it. So she knows what time it is. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah. But I mean, nonetheless, still good. It's always the kid, Joe. It's always gonna be the kid. It's just always gonna be the easy route, to get to people's heartstrings. And so it'll always bring ratings in.
Because they could have easily had that thing, instead of the daughter just being stupid. It could have been like a kind of thing where he had somebody watching them, but they don't know that the chick is, with Sinatra. So she shows up, and the guard is like, oh, what's up? Blah, blah, blah. She's like, oh, I'm just chilling. She pulls a gun on him, knock him out, something, and then go take the kid. Cool. But instead, they just have it. Right. They just have it be like stupid or whatever. Like, oh, dad told us to stay here because we're in danger, but I got to go see my boyfriend or whatever. Like, come on, dog.
Yeah. Well, no, but she left because, she told her she was grieving over Billy.
No, I'm talking about for her.
The initial time.
Brother, when she first, he put them away somewhere. Remember, she left the brother to go be with the president's son. And then Jane
says, also
I'm grieving.
Because she took the whatchamacallit, the tablet. So I can't wait to see what's on that tablet.
Me too. And even that, all this shit is going down. Your dad is like high up there, or at least you think, because people don't really know about all of Sinatra and all those folks. Why not give him the tablet? And I get it, plot reasons. It has to happen this way, but it's like, this is not how real people respond to certain things, or whatever. But
maybe her dad is on that tablet. You know what I mean? Like, we'll see.
Yeah.
It's still a great show. Still a great show.
For sure.
Definitely must watch. All right, that's all I got for today. Weather looks like it's great outside, so I'm gonna go get some vitamin D, super pause, double pause, triple pause, and and make my way to some fun. So with that, I'm gonna hand the reins to you to get us all the way up out of here.
Hey, everybody. We definitely appreciate you guys for rocking with us this week on the Cast Ready podcast. For the folks like TP and I believe the other guy was Randy, who was in chat. Randy. We definitely appreciate you guys for tapping in with us live, taking time out of your Sunday morning. Celia, she's day one A1. So definitely always appreciate you as well. No Judy's out there too. Definitely appreciate you guys for taking time out of your Sunday to hear us talk and banter, etc. Like we always say, make that phone call, send that text message, reach out to your people. You never know what people got going in their lives. You never know, how people are feeling, what their mood is, etc. And that phone call, may be key to help get them, through the day, to help them keep on keeping on, etc. Tough time in the country. So reach out to your folks, tap in with them, check in with them, see how they're doing. With that being said, you guys can find the podcast on all podcasting platforms by searching at Castworthy. You also can follow us on any of our social media by searching at Castworthy. On Instagram, it's at Castworthy_podcast. While you're there, you can leave a like, subscribe, follow, tell a friend. We very much appreciate it. Help us grow the audience. And with that being said, we will see you guys next week with another fresh episode of the Castworthy podcast. Until then, we out. We love you. Peace.